That song ruined my life and
But
saved
Love
my
You
life.
Better.
No, that was Love Me Better one. I thought it was the Unblock Me song. Love Me Better, yeah, that was I was in studio when you recorded that one.
Nah.
That was a wild night.
Falling out of love with me.
That was a wild night.
Who can love you better than I can?
That's a perfect song too.
It's a great song, man. Yeah.
So, have y'all read any of the books that Cuz gave us for Christmas?
Yeah, I definitely been reading the David and Goliath.
What's your takeaway so far?
You
got anything for us?
Man, it's a good book. It's a David and Goliath for sure. It talk about, David and Goliath, for example.
Sound like you read the book.
I'm like, nigga, this is a group project. Fail, bro. You're supposed to read this shit.
No.
Said the title 3 times. That's David Goliath.
But it's talking about the
giant niggas, slingshot.
Hit a nigga with a stone, yeah, that's it. Nah,
knocked them down. It's talking about the outliers though. It's just talking about the outcasts, the people, they counted out, the underdogs, and it's just giving you different stories about, it's talking about one group of kids that they did a press on defense. That was the only reason they won. They couldn't score on offense, but when they did a press, they always score.
Yeah.
So it just kind of talk about different examples from the book.
You read that one already? Was that one of them that you said you read?
I feel like I did, but I might need to reread it because it sounds like, I like it.
No, it's a lot of, I actually done made money off the book. I done flipped the book and turned it into a symposium. You know what I'm saying? No, I went and spoke about it. I had a church gig.
Look at that, okay.
Look, he wanted percentage. Look at him, boy. Jerry Holler, boy.
Man, I done re-gifted some shit before.
I ended up speaking at a church, and I ended up using the example out of the book in church, you know what I'm saying?
That's
so
awesome.
it was.
Yeah, I ain't started on the Malcolm Gladwell. I'm almost finished with a book I've started since then, but it wasn't part of the gift bundle. I was reading this book called All About Love, and I'm almost done with it.
That's by Bell Hooks.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. No, it's not fiction.
It's not
Have
fiction.
you read A Will to Change by Bell Hooks?
Nah.
Man, you need to put that on your list next, for real.
All right.
Like before your Malcolm Gladwell, that book, it really changed my perception on parenting.
Okay.
And
what's the name of it?
The Will to Change.
Right there on the screen, yeah.
But no, it's great because for me, I may have shared, I have 3 sisters and a brother. All of them are younger than me. And watching how my dad parented my sisters and the way that he took certain tones with things, it kind of informed how I was going to parent my daughters and like be a, if somebody do something to you, I'm going to kill them type thing. And she uses that example in the book is why she didn't tell her dad that she was assaulted because she was afraid of losing her dad, which, kind of changed my perspective of, want my daughter to feel like she can run to me with the information, not that if I tell dad, he gonna crash out, know. So that's why I say it's a great book. So you already on the Bell Hooks train, so that's great.
I saw your dad today. Bell Hooks, A Will to Change.
Yeah.
All right, well, I want to get to the Malcolm Gladwell so we can, pass the rest of those books around too. But I have been like intentional. I've been reading every day. I've been journaling and it's got me on, some other type of timing, like in a good way, in a progressive fashion. So what about you been reading?
I'm
just the pussy book.
In between 2 audio books. I got this book called Attention Span by Gloria Marks, I believe. I've been listening to, and then Medical Apartheid. So I've been on the route listening to those 2 books.
Yeah.
You said Medical Apartheid?
That book heavy,
I was just about
bro.
to ask you, like, what is that? What kind of mindset does that put you in, like living life, and then have
I'm
you thought
already,
about
like,
working that into your material?
The medical industry or whatever and the government, but like it just makes you even more like militant and just rebellious against that shit. They was doing some wild shit to us, bro. Like since day one, like just doing just all type of experiments.
I'm sure it goes deep into the Tuskegee experiment.
That's that ain't
surface
nothing
level,
compared to what they doing.
You read it already?
I just researched all that before going vegan. And just like, I don't know, I was a hotep ass nigga at one
I
point
wouldn't.
in my life.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I never got to the hotel phase, but like I'm super pro black and super militant. People wouldn't know that, but I don't walk around like that. But like I'm on that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Revolutionary Suicide was one of the first books I read, and that really got me, by Huey P. Newton, that really got me started on that bullshit.
So have you retested for homophobia? Because I know I'm under the belief that black people can't be racist according to the definition, but you say you're pro-black. Are you anti any other ethnicity?
Pro-black just means I'm
pro-black?
black first. Like, I'm going to choose, my race first, like I think any other race should be. That's how I look at it.
I'm just trying to help you with getting us canceled. I was hoping.
Nah, we can get it. We can speed that up if you want me to talk.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Okay.
No, don't speed it up.
Nah.
Stop.
Nah.
All right, Los, you mentioned vegan. That's y'all lifestyle choice because y'all they've been trying to challenge us to go on a quest, a challenge.
Come on.
I feel like, but I feel like, Chad, let us know if we're wrong. I feel like it's unbalanced because it's not like we can ask you all to partake in some swine.
I'm not eating no meat. Let's get her on it. So no
more. We can't mention the burgers on this episode.
Be aware.
What?
Don't say that with a disclaimer.
What? Well, they know I'm talking about. I'm talking about monkey. I ain't talking about no.
He ain't talking about no pig feet with some toe hair.
But all right, from outside of just like the purely vegan side, I was wanting to ask y'all, either one of y'all juice, do your own juicing? Because when I was holiday shopping, I had to stop myself from buying myself things while I was there. That's like a bad habit. When I'm seeing things and I'm like, shit, I want one of these. And I wanted a juicer though. Cause I buy juices from a couple of friends that have their own businesses, but like it's just more time efficient if I was to do it myself. Or just like professionally, I want to learn about things that I'm consuming or spending my money on, or at least know how to do it. Y'all do your own juices?
Yeah. Yep. I got
what kind of juicer I need to get?
I got a Nama. I got the ain't that the powerful one, the one that got the spin around at the top.
It's called a slow something like that. But I got a Haram. Both of them probably on the same level. I got it from Williams Sonoma. But you want to spend a good penny on it. You don't want to go to cheap route. Like you don't want to go to Target and get a juicer.
It's gonna break. You're gonna be mad.
And there's a lot more mess you have to clean up. So
you need something that's gonna be easy. Yeah.
It's definitely very tedious.
It's worth it too.
It's worth it, like health-wise, for sure.
Yeah. How long? Well, I guess maybe because you are probably already committed to making that change for your lifestyle. I know that I tried it with my daughter. We did it for a little bit. But
juicing?
Juicing, yeah. Mm-hmm. Just like doing it at home, watermelon, like getting the fruit, cutting it up, juicing it, put it in the glass bottles.
Man, for me.
Yeah. And it was cool, but then it became if something happens on Sunday before school, then it becomes like, we don't have time to do this now. And then it becomes the week that went by, and now the fruit gone bad. So what were some of the things that helped keep y'all consistent with doing, not even just necessarily converting to veganism, but like doing things like juicing?
I think meal planning, meal prepping, in a sense, like you talking about with juicing, it's like, man, we get the fruit depending on the ripeness of it or something like that. We're gonna cut it up right then and there. We're gonna save and then we'll juice it. Because I think a lot of times we think that it take too much time, but it'll probably take you about 15 minutes to go to the store to go buy you one, and it's gonna cost you $15. So you done spent really, you know what I'm saying, the same amount of time that you could have did it juicing at the crib than you was doing it, you know what I'm saying, going to grab some. And a lot of times it's like the thought of like, I'm taking too much time to, you know what I'm saying, do this thing. But I think like I said, just meal prepping, kind of getting ahead of the week. And then a lot of the times with like being vegan, a lot of the meals are kind of like, you can kind of replace it with one or another. It's like if I'm gonna make farro, a certain type of rice, or this certain type of meat, whether it's jackfruit or whether it's hearts of palm or whether it's, you know what I'm saying, some mushrooms, like I could kind of make whatever I want out of those, like certain types of, you know what I'm saying, substitutes. So that's kind of like how it is for me. It's like I enjoy it too, like he said, because it give me something to kind of like think about for the week.
Well, you said meat. That's you gotta have incredible imagination to be vegan and shit. Cause I message you all the time. I be hitting you like, man, what the fuck is it supposed to be? Or like, you know, it might look like. When I'm like, what is this actually?
The
like
fake chicken legs, yeah.
Yeah, that shit. Nah, that ain't gonna go.
I don't like that fake chicken leg shit. That's too far gone.
But okay, what I hear is like intention. It just requires a lot of like intention, and that's kind of why I am like.
And why are you doing it? Like, what's your purpose? Like,
right,
you know what I mean? Is
but
it
carving out the time, like you said, you probably actually save time just if you prepare adequately. You for sure save money because I just went shopping for. I got the list of ingredients that goes into my normal order, and I went and like got them myself, and it felt like a lot, but I'm like, it really wasn't. It wasn't that expensive, especially compared to what I'll pay for my order. And I'm like, damn, a few trips to the store, that machine will pay for itself versus, you know, going to just different spots. So I know traveling, I'll be trying to find like juice bars and places, you know.
Very expensive.
I was gonna say, what's the cost? You think? Because I know you talked about making it at home. Is you save $15, maybe you do the fruit and you ain't got to drive the gas. Yeah. But I'm sure that's hard for you on the road to be able to consistently do it, or is it hard? You know,
it's just the same thing you said. It's about intention, like doing different fasts or like doing challenges and things with that involve like diet and shit, touring, especially consistently staying on the road. It is a chore. I like Los talked about it before. Like he's traveling, he's doing events, and like, man, where's the vegan spot? Or like we was somewhere. He was like, man, they don't have no vegan restaurants, kind of thing. It's like even just to eat balanced or eat right, or you know how it is on the road, we might get to a city closer to showtime, or by the time the work is done, it's after midnight. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what city you're in, it's damn near nothing. Like there's no options there. So I think it would be a matter of like juicing and having a whole damn, you know, case of them to travel with, and just kind of coming prepared, like bringing your stuff with you.
Probably having people too, like you said, on board with the same lifestyle that you on, or the intention that you doing when you on tour. Cause it's like
traveling with somebody who don't like you, like even just with homeboys going out of town. They cool with a fast food restaurant. I'm like, bro, I can't eat that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna eat that. I'm not gonna eat the fries there either. So
man, they can mess up your whole experience too. Cause you ain't hungry. It's like, do you want a Snickers? But you probably can't. You may not eat Snickers because they come in the factory where they
eat none of that. They got milk in it.
Got milk. Yeah.
My bad.
So you
y'all got too many rules.
Imagination. Man. You gotta have determination.
You gotta
know how to read. Like I read. Like I'm in the grocery store reading ingredients, bro. Like it's all I do.
Yeah.
You be surprised what got milk in it. You like, how that got milk in it? How that got an egg in it?
Have either one of y'all been to Europe before?
No.
The reason why I asked that is because I know like there are a lot of dyes that we allow in America that they don't allow in Europe. And I'd be curious to know what you all's thought is about European food and how it's made because of y'all, because of what y'all know that we have in our food here in America.
Man, so
I was talking about that earlier, just how the difference, like the stuff they allow over here that they just won't allow over there as far as certain ingredients or whatever. It's wild that we get away with that shit. Like it's a lot of like just stuff just not good for you at all that we just put in our food and we just willingly eat it.
Well, I think a lot of it is, you know, about you don't have the information to know about what's going on, like unless somebody puts it in front of you. Like I was just reading an article on Reddit. It was linked to an article, somebody making a comment about milk and how in the 40s or the 30s, like how the government like made a big emphasis of putting milk in the diet and put it on the food pyramid. And y'all probably remember the 90s, it was like you gotta have milk every day.
I think the dairy industry actually created the food pyramid.
Dairy
if I'm not
lobbyists.
mistaken.
The lobbyists. So then it becomes everybody feels like you need to have milk, but then I want to say the statistics was like 35% of Americans are lactose intolerant. And here you are thinking there's something wrong with you.
Man, grandma told us, I don't know if you remember this, when we was kids, our grandmother told me that all black people are lactose intolerant.
I remember her saying that a lot.
She's a biochemist, so I like to think she would know something. But it was such a like a Kanye West, George Bush don't care about black
people. So it was matter of fact, like she says,
she was like all black people are like, and I was.
We are.
I don't think I was at that age could ask like why specifically black people, but it's probably goes back to maybe what you was reading, and it's something that wasn't consumed at all by a culture of people.
Well, I mean, even if you think about like the idea of what other mammal uses another mammal's milk to supplement their diet.
It's only us.
You know.
Cow milk is made for a 2-ton animal, however heavy the damn
and
cow
even
is.
thinking about like the early parts of America's development, the slaves would be milking the white children would be suckling off the breast of a slave,
Mm-hmm.
not a milk from a cow. So
yeah, no, it's wild.
Yeah.
It's deep in the rap.
I gotta double back and ask about the black people's lactose intolerance. All right, so yeah, you got the juice now. What's going on? What's going on since we last sat here? I know we had Pilates. We went to Pilates together. What was y'all takeaway from that? How y'all felt about that? It was your fucking idea.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I'm glad y'all
Stretch Armstrong
actually went through with it and participated. It looked like y'all had a good time. Pilates is very beneficial. It has a lot of benefits to it, but I felt good. How'd y'all feel about it?
Man, I felt great. I enjoyed it. I posted some pictures about it earlier today, let y'all know, how I felt really about it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go read. Well, it's gonna be gone by the time you see this, but I'm gonna tell you how I felt. I feel real good, The instructor was really great. I feel like I should do it again, you know what I mean? So if you out there looking at it, watching, give us, let us know where we need to come and join a Pilates class. And I'm going all around town. I'm trying Pilates everywhere. I'm on a Pilates tour.
What do you think of?
It was great. I'd done it before, so it was cool to be able to do it, with the guys. What was our instructor's name? Corey.
Yeah,
shout out to Corey. She was gave us a lot of information, answered all of our questions, made us feel comfortable and welcome in the space. I think that, nobody felt like maybe somebody thought
we didn't do nothing challenging.
Well, you can say that it wasn't challenging. Maybe for you because you had 9 private sessions, or 10 private sessions,
4 or 5.
17.
Don't cut it in half now. That's not what was going on when we was there. But you got your private session. So for us to get to do our, you don't like me to keep saying private session.
I ain't no telling what the hell was going on.
This on a special session. Machine. I like this one the most.
We didn't do the thing, the thing. I didn't know that you had did it before. You didn't say that when we was in there. I didn't know that you had tried it.
I had tried it out at some health facility somewhere I had membership to. Okay. And just got, So like the balance part of it, like I was saying, it was fun. You know, it was challenging. It was definitely one of them exercises we did where like my whole core was shaking, and I was like, I need to figure out how I can reincorporate this into my workout at home because I enjoyed it. It was fun, Yeah. But I'm glad nobody fell. But maybe next time we can ramp up the level to something more challenging.
I appreciated that. I felt like she kind of took it easy on us and met us where we were in terms of experience. Obviously, me and Los hadn't tried it at all before, but I don't think any of us were like fit for it. Like even though we're active and whatnot, it kind of woke some muscle groups up, let me know like
you work on this.
Damn, this since then I've been real intentional about core work and shit because it was like, damn, this is different. It don't look or feel like it should be that challenging, but like this so unnatural.
And then you don't realize like all that time on the tension for 30, 40 seconds, you like, man, it ain't even been a minute yet.
So it works all the little small muscles that never get worked. When you go to the gym, you don't work on those. That's what it's geared towards. But
I'm for sure going back. I'm signing up. Some other friends of mine got Pilates gyms, and I'm gonna do at least some trials, give it a month or so.
On tour. Let's go.
I ain't doing the tour thing.
I was ready to go on a Pilates tour.
Where we going?
But I am gonna pop in a couple spots.
Let me know, bro. Don't. Let me know. All right, y'all, fellas. We back. We back in here. It's
We
good
back,
to see
Los.
y'all, man.
Sorry.
Damn, where y'all been? Ain't
yeah.
heard from y'all. Y'all been in the chat though. Y'all been in the chat. We've been in the chat. We've been working. We've been trying to get some stuff together for y'all. So it's gonna be a great couple episodes coming up next. But fellas, what did we talk about on that last show that we were supposed to be working on? What y'all been working on? What?
I've been working on, what I say, healing my inner child or some shit.
That is what you
Yeah,
said.
that's what you
I went to the
said.
trampoline park, shit, for my son's birthday, and almost ended up in the hospital. But that shit ain't, you know what I mean?
You trying to flip like Simone Biles, wasn't it?
I was trying to just do some
Too
gladiator
much.
shit that just didn't. My knee wasn't ready for that. But
It's fragile, man. That's my
nah,
boy.
trampoline park ain't nothing to play with. Ain't nothing to play with. And I'm trying to show my kids that I'm can play
Still
with it.
got
Yeah,
it.
still got it. And I don't.
What they say when it happened?
Oh, get up, hell. Yeah, get
So-
your ass up.
So did you injure your inner child in the process?
Nah, I still have fun. Like, it's war wound. Like, I say my knee, I messed my knee up and my elbow and my shoulders. But,
It's all your joints.
ACL
it-
tear.
What didn't you mess up? Knees
Man,
up.
but I had fun though. You know what I mean?
Hey,
My
you
kids
made the
had
memory,
fun.
the
We created some
experience.
really good
What's
memories.
that movie, man? ACL tear. What's the dude always was hurting himself in the little football movie? It was like a parody, but it was
Not blue chips.
man, it was stupid, man. I have to look it up. Y'all let me know in the chat. You know what I'm talking about, but you don't know the name though.
Well, then you got to get the name. If you're going to tell us you know it, you got to say what the
12
name
years old.
is.
You know
I know what it
everything.
is.
Engineer,
It's a
15
secret.
years old.
All right, best football movie ever in y'all mind, like sports movies. I'm a sports
Any
nigga.
given Sunday.
Any given Sunday.
Bobby Boucher, Waterboy.
Yeah, I was going to say Any Given Sunday, too. He took mine before I get it out. I was going to say Jamie Foxx.
I'm gonna go remember the Titans. And speaking of Titans, I got a Titans hat on because I'm abandoning my favorite team temporarily. My 49ers got their ass kicked.
We had no starters, bro.
Your 49ers too.
We had no starters.
we won a playoff game. A lot of y'all teams ain't smelled the playoffs. So we're gonna start there.
And with his Tennessee homie shirt on.
But yeah, I mean it's it tracks. It's in the music, whatever on the Titans, whatever on the Niners.
Whatever on the Titans, whatever on the Niners.
If I every year I wish for a Titans versus San Francisco Super Bowl, and I mean
one day.
San Francisco has made it a few times in my adult life. The Titans
Made it once.
made it once. I was in high school and I got in trouble when they made it to the Super Bowl and lost.
What'd you do?
Well, I don't allegedly. So we
Statute
went to Human
limitations
Fall.
passed, man.
Okay, yeah, statute of
Okay.
limitations. We went to Human Fall
Uh-huh.
at the time when the Titans went to the Super Bowl, and even though they lost, they still had a parade.
Yeah, I
you know?
went.
We was 1 yard
I didn't
away.
go watch on
That's
TV.
some real second place shit to do.
We're gonna celebrate it anyway.
Yeah, man, fucking we made it.
So
Yeah.
they had a parade, and
Why would you have a parade?
I mean,
it was the
got a
first
ball,
time.
you know?
Like, it was
On
ABC.
Broadway.
Okay.
On ball forever.
Parade on Broadway.
So on Broadway, yeah, keep in mind the parade goes right past our school.
Mm.
The seniors can go to lunch, can like walk around downtown Nashville. That was like the policy then. I don't know how they do it now. Seniors could leave campus and go get lunch, or And I was a sophomore, I think, at the time. And
Yeah, because it was 99, yeah.
2000. Well, when the seniors was, dipping out to go to lunch, I'm like, this parade is going down. Shit. Some seniors sign out, go out the side door. I walk out with them. Like, fuck it, I'm going to the parade, Like, if I get caught, I don't give a damn. And so we walk around. I'm at the parade. I happen to have on a yellow plaid Tommy Hilfiger button-down shirt, bright yellow. I think I just started growing my hair. I had yellow rubber bands on my hair and some more shit. I'm giving you that for later in the story. So I eased back into school whenever. I might have stayed gone all day type shit. Later on, Mom's like, how was school? Oh yeah, it was light. You know, we didn't really do shit. I seen your stupid ass on TV with that bright yellow shirt on. Like, it was like I had nothing to say. It was like, yeah, I seen you at the parade. Like, I mean, I wasn't really in trouble. She was like, shit, I probably would have left too, kind of thing. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's the last time the Titans went to the Super Bowl though. But yeah, I'm jumping ship. We got a new coach today. The Titans just got Robert
Salah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, him. But that's promising. I don't know. Our last coach is probably on his way to the Super Bowl with the Patriots.
Yeah, that's wild. You gotta be the ownership got to feel a certain kind of way about that. You know, the Houston, it would have been the Texans was going, or the team that the head coach you just fired. You know, I'm sure that, you know.
Yeah, they got to win one more. But so, yeah, you a 49ers fan. I've been a 49ers fan as long as I can remember, from Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott era. You got a traditional favorite team?
Nah, I just kind of stuck with the Titans by default from being here. Other than that, I like players. Like, I follow a player, whatever team. Deion Sanders.
I was going to say, he was a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, because he was playing for the Cowboys then. That was like in the early 90s when they won the Super Bowls, but they ain't won since then.
He won Super Bowl in San Francisco, too.
He did. That's what, again. So that's my boy.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
Who your favorite player?
I'm a Cowboys fan, first and foremost.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all good, man. You know,
we're
going to win it one day. One day we going to win it.
That's what y'all say.
Fans.
I have a meme that I send to my uncle. One of my uncles is a Cowboys fan. Every year, I say that thing. Y'all say y'all favorite saying.
Every year is our year. We're going to win it one year.
Still waiting.
We're going to win one year. We going, yeah.
Did you say what you was working on? Your progress report?
Oh, no, I'm all over the place.
Yeah, you went to the Titans.
Yeah, okay, sorry. But shout out to Robert Salah, how you say it?
Salah is how I said it. Let me look it up.
So you don't know how it's pronounced?
Nah, I don't.
Oh.
You thought I was right?
I thought you.
I mean, that's how you pronounce that word.
It was with the Niners.
So it's looking good.
He said it's looking good.
Or looking better. I mean, you mentioned inner child. I think I had mentioned working on music and tapping back in, and that's been going. I'm about to turn my album in a week. I've been working very intentionally with that. Don't want to talk about it too much, but I have been working on what I said I was gonna work on, just for context, along with fitness and all that. It just runs together. I feel like I'm more productive when I give myself some like constructive routine and all that. Journaling, reading, writing, running, lifting, just different things to keep my head clear. I was doing this fast with my mom. Something she was doing at the church. I followed her lead on that, and this just pushed me in a different direction. I've been feeling like clear-headed and stuff. So I think hopefully that's reflected through my art that I've been like really, really diligent on. I went to Vegas and worked on it a little bit, just for kind of a change of pace. About to go to Florida and mix and master it this weekend with band play. So that's exciting. I'm really excited about it, you know, versus just it ain't really feeling like work. It's just like the freedom of expression that's come with it.
Let it flowing.
It's dope.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was working on. What did I say? Do you remember?
Well, you had said self-care, but you had since talked about you had, you know, got the acupuncture and all that.
Yeah, I still my self-care journey.
And I think you were talking about doing some things that had to do with your goals for 2026 and what you were going to do to accomplish them.
Ah, yeah. You already know what it is. I've been working. I got some events coming up. I got a lot of events coming up. February gonna be a beautiful month. If you in Nashville, come holler at your boy.
We're gonna make sure to link Los' events.
Yeah, and
what you got going on in February?
February, I'm throwing an event February 6th. Good Taste, pop out. It's gonna be nice. A little artsy fartsy type shit.
It's gonna be
vibes, you know
vegan
what I'm
food.
saying?
They're gonna have meat there too.
I ain't worried about you eating. Buy some of these drinks.
Got it. Got it.
February 19th, I'm gonna do a sample this party. Samples. We playing all the samples.
From like popular songs or
Yeah. Then 21st, we're gonna do a panel discussion. Might need to get you to talk. One of y'all to talk on the panel discussion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Get y'all to talk. It's gonna be nice too. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to make sure y'all pop out for this. This is gonna be like the state of Black Nashville.
Okay.
We talking about some business. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about that a little bit later on.
Let's get back to that.
And then we got Black History Month Expo that month as well, and that's gonna be big too. It'd be super dope. We probably do a black ass party, and be a great month. February's gonna be good. I know he got some events coming up in February too, and so
You going to me?
yeah.
Yeah. I got
He said, "Who me?"
I got Don Tripp coming down performing live at Cannery, February 13th. That's gonna be and tickets already halfway sold out, so that's gonna be
great.
That's gonna be a
fire.
good. It's gonna be a good
Wonderful.
night.
Craig.
Yeah,
You said February 13th.
yeah,
Cannery.
yeah. I'm excited about that. I've never seen him perform solo, so I've never seen his solo show. I've only seen him do Step Brothers stuff. So I'm really excited about the show.
It's gonna be nice.
Really excited.
It's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
Well, I know I said that I was gonna do some working on being consistent with working out. I've been doing that, and then making some updates to some property. I did that, so I'm glad to be moving forward in that direction. And then I also wanted to take time to shout out some people that responded to us in the chat and said that they were. We asked them what they were working on too, and got a couple of people saying that they was working on being a better husband. That was what's his name? Big Bean 2058 says he's working on being a better husband and father to his 5.
Shout out to Big Ben.
Yeah, hey, look, man, these ain't my names, so don't hold me to
What
it.
up, dog?
Then shout out to Pikachu 615 working on deepening their faith, strengthening their self-discipline, and protecting their peace, which is something that all three of us talked about, which is good. Somebody else, Brandon Robb 941, patience for me. And then Ray Jones, 4583, financial stability.
So y'all.
So those are some good things to work on and focus on, when we doing, when we talk about our progress report. It's good to see the other people tapping in with us, also set some goals for themselves to work towards. That means that we, achieving one of our goals that we set out to do when we started this. So shout out to y'all too for being accountable.
Been seeing
being
the books,
transparent.
man. Been seeing everybody copping the books, y'all.
Yeah.
So, we appreciate that, man. Keep rocking with us. We gonna, I guess, maybe start a book club or something like that.
Yeah,
I mean, it might
I
be
think
time
so.
for that.
I think that we named in that episode, we named almost 30 books.
30 books is wild.
Yeah, 30
We just
books.
named about 10 more in this episode. So
Yeah, so
I think that's the value of that's how information and knowledge evolves or morphs into wisdom is when it's shared, when it's circulated. I think it's always something to learn from one another and bounce ideas off of. So share y'all suggestions for titles as well. Cause that's, like I said, something we're trying to be intentional about. It's growing, feeding our minds and nurturing all of those valuable things. All those things that you read off from that people were sharing is kind of the whole premise is progressive. It's work and progress,
Right.
as well as we are a work in progress and constantly evolving. But the work isn't so tedious or laborious when it's progressive, when you're actually working toward a goal or a worthwhile end game, or just to stay in perpetual motion. Is rather than staying stagnant, you either growing or dying. I think Don Tripp mentioned that.
yeah, for
verbatim.
sure. You definitely, getting better or you're getting worse. Your muscles, you know, you're gonna lose your muscle strength if you don't work out, you know, and so you get that atrophy. The same thing can happen with your mind and your brain if you don't challenge yourself every day to do something. So I'm glad to see other folks tapping in with us on that. You had mentioned something earlier about one of y'all were talking about black business or the state of black Nashville.
State of Black Nashville.
Yeah, and it made me think about something. For those of you who don't know, I ran for public office 4 years ago, and so I got to get exposed to a different level of local government and how that impacts the people in our daily lives. And here in Nashville, there was a council person that suggested overlay for a particular neighborhood, and it caused a lot of ruckus online in a certain demographic. And we talked about it later, and then, you know, the next week, the whole attention towards it kind of died off, and there's a new subject. And so, in you talking about the state of Black Nashville and really any city in America, it's definitely important to be informed about what's going on in your local community, talking to your council persons and showing up for those meetings to understand how different policies impact us. I know in Nashville, councilwoman in South Nashville, she represents Antioch, just announced that she's running for mayor. Now, the election is not for another year, but she's already getting started. And so that time is coming for us to make sure that we stay engaged. And we'll try to, you know, to educate those as much as we can about, you know, politics. Like I said, in every city, everybody has a planning commission or a council or alderman, some type of local government. But those things are something that definitely influence the state of Black Nashville. Yeah. What are some of the topics y'all gonna be covering down there?
He was talking about your event.
Yeah. Some of the topics, I think, basically like similar to what you talked about, just kind of like ownership, capital, access. I got a wide range of people that I'm hosting on the panel with. It's going to be like an open discussion in a sense as well, because I think a lot of times when you kind of create this dynamic of like you're lesser than, your opinion doesn't matter in a sense kind of thing, I think it kind of separates the audience from the actual people on the panel. So it kind of creates this pissing contest in a sense of like, you know, I'm better than you. You need to listen to me kind of thing. And I think one thing that I want to create with this panel and discussion is just like, it's an open floor, but also like, how do we move past what we're doing right now? I think a lot of times we don't talk amongst entrepreneurs, business owners, creators. We don't never really have those real dialogue. We don't have that real like open conversations. And for us to kind of talk about like actually what's going on and like how we move forward. So like the topics are like super easy topics, but it's more so to kind of open up the conversation for you to carry on for the next time y'all see each other, or for the hidden room, or after the conversation that we have. And so like a lot of the times, even with like the networking events, it's like that one moment sparks the next idea, the next conversation, or the next relationship or partnership, you know what I'm saying, for the thing that you want to do or that you want to create. And so a lot of the times we just miss out and we missed the mark on like actually having those real conversations. So I just want to kind of give people the floor and the opportunity to do that. And then also like see where we going. I think a lot of times we dance around what we be talking about. Like we got to get to the real meat of it, pause. And because
mushroom for you, since
mushrooms,
jackfruit.
Jackfruit. And so like I was telling somebody the other day, if we don't talk about it, it's going to continue to keep happening each generation, each decade, like the same thing over and over. If we keep these hidden taboos, these things that people are doing behind closed doors, if we don't speak about it, if we don't shame it, it's going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to be accepted. And so, like, I ain't got time for that. I'm 30. By the time I hit 50, I ain't trying to be in the limelight doing nothing and vouching for nobody. Like, my work is done. But if I don't do nothing right now, young Allen behind the camera ain't gonna be able to, you know what I'm saying, build that business that he want to build, because we 20, 30, 45 years behind
with our
infrastructure. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, when you were talking about what happened in North Nashville over the last couple of weeks, to almost like, I guess, break break it down slightly, like especially people like outside of Nashville, like we are attempting to be somewhat of a voice or a vessel for Black Nashville, all of us being like Nashville natives. But like I know you're North Nashville is like near and dear to you. You putting a documentary together about the area at large. It's kind of the roots of our family, you know, are based there. But like, what was it that recently happened in almost more like layman's terms that was kind of the hot topic for a moment?
Yeah,
and
and we'll put links to the actual things that I talk about in the description of the video, because I'm no expert in the area, and I also haven't read the full overlay. I did read some of it. I did read part of it that talked about certain time restrictions. And essentially, how government operates is your city can make ordinances that deal with the city that talk about things like what time businesses can close, what type of businesses that you can have open in a certain area. If it's zone residential, you know, there's 3 types of zoning: residential, commercial, and industrial. Those can be broken down into have different, you know, you can have certain number of houses on a house. Like most quarter-acre lots have a single family dwelling. In some areas, a quarter-acre lot may be zoned to have a 2-family dwelling or a horizontal property regime. Even with, you know, the different zoning changes or different zoning laws, you can ask your council person to change the law. So in Nashville, you hear a lot of commentary about houses that are called tall and skinnies. And typically they take a single family house and they tear that house down and they'll build 2 houses on that one piece of property. Now for a developer, that's a, you know, great opportunity to, you know, make some money on the same square footage. And then on the other side of it, you also have an opportunity to have twice as much housing where you would only have 1 if you built a single family. And so it's understood that, excuse me, there is a housing shortage, you know, in the Middle Tennessee area. The problem sometimes with those types of zoning changes is that you create a higher level of density in a certain area that is not comparable or is not the same in a different area of the city that doesn't have as much higher, is the same number of density for the population. And what that does is it changes the land value, which then changes your equity in your home, which then changes what types of businesses that you may get in your neighborhood. For instance, there's not a Publix in North Nashville. There's not a Cheesecake Factory in North Nashville. There's not a lot of different anchor tenants like that in those areas, primarily because the household income from that area wouldn't support that business. And so it's hard to get businesses to drive there. Not just North Nashville, there can be any other cities, different areas like that. But getting back to the point of the overlays, when one is trying to develop a certain area, or whether it's commercial or industrial, you have to operate by the ordinances for that area. And if you look at the history of North Nashville going back to Jefferson Street, time before 440, you're talking about the documentary, I didn't even think about and consider at that time, there probably wasn't an overlay that said you couldn't have a juke club open at 2 o'clock in the morning, because that was the norm on Jefferson Street for the clubs to be there, for the grocery stores to turn into a juke joint or something like that. Well, fast forward, 80 years to now in 2020, where on Buchanan, there are event spaces that are bars and clubs in the evening that are still in the residential area. Well, in this particular overlay, they're asking that bars close at a certain time, that they don't have amplified speakers after a certain time, because the noise and the traffic causes issues for the residents that live there. So on one side, you have people that are trying to work and live and have to go to bed at 12, get up at 5, and a club that's open till 2 can disturb that person. And you got people driving, or parking in our street.
Traffic,
they don't care about
noise,
your
yeah.
driveway. They like, I'm trying to get home. And so if you're a resident there, you can imagine their frustration with trash being, thrown about in their lawn and different things like that. So this overlay was proposed, and it was at its 3rd reading. In Nashville specifically, you have to have 3 readings before you can pass something, before it goes to the council to be voted on for a ordinance or quote unquote law. And at the 3rd reading, this was going to be sent to the council for them to change the overlay, so those businesses would have had to cease certain types of operations. And a lot of the business owners, or at least one of the business owners, was very vocal about his displeasure with that ordinance. and how that impacts, his business, not just his business, but the people that he employs and his patrons. Where do they have to go in the city to be able to enjoy themselves like that? And so, that's kind of a high level of what was going on with the ordinance and, some of the issues on both sides where, again, a resident has the right to, feel that way in their space. They pay their mortgage, they pay their taxes, and they want the government to protect them from certain things so they can have the quiet enjoyment of their property. And on the same side, you have most businesses are owned by black folks in that neighborhood, or at least a lot of them are. They have that would challenge how they'd be able to operate and generate revenue. So I mean, it's both sides have valid points. Yeah. It's just about how do we impact that, and the problem I think is, and at least in this instance, is it doesn't appear to be a lot of community engagement, but there very well may have been. So,
well, in real time as it was, I saw it playing out on social media. I actually know personally quite a few of the business owners in that sector, in that area. And so, like you said, it affects people on various levels. I wasn't as informed in real time, but I saw a lot of rallying behind, supporting the cause. And even when you just said something I wasn't aware of, like it was a third reading kind of thing. And I think it's just kind of, it was interesting. It was fascinating to see, people come out in packs and support or something. And that's always like wow, like we're powerful when we choose to band together, stand for something, otherwise a presence or, can be made. But it also goes back to the person pitching for it was a black man as well. So it wasn't so black and white like some issues are, and however, whatever people's opinion, I don't really have as strong an opinion about the specific thing, but what it did make me think about it, and this was kind of your point when we were talking about it privately, was people got to be more up to speed of what's going on the front end because these are elected officials. So if anybody had issues with how the legislation is being pushed, well, technically, y'all put them in the office too. You know what I'm saying? Because the local, this is where local elections and things like that become important. It's because you need to have somebody that's gonna go to bat for you in them positions. Otherwise, you're gonna be fighting against it. And it's yes, 1,000 of us could come and rally against it, but that same 1,000 people could get out and vote. I know in your office that you ran for, it was a difference of about 1,000 or so vote. It wasn't proportional to the population or the people eligible to vote.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode. I want to say it was my election. I got 6,000 votes. The person that beat me, I think she got 13,000.
Okay, so it was a margin.
But outside of me, then the next person was 3 and 2, and so even if you do the math on that, it's less than 30,000 people. That means less than maybe not for my specific office, but for all of them, less than 40,000 people in Davidson County voted to choose over 40 positions in government.
Yeah.
And that means that those 40,000 people are the voices for the government. So if you're not somebody that's engaged, then you don't have a voice,
Yeah.
If you upset about how something's going and you didn't vote, you don't have a right to say something, And I think that's one of the things that I've always appreciated about my grandparents and my parents, talking to me about the importance of doing your civic duty, which is probably why I'm a lawyer, is because I wanted to learn about them. Like you learn about poll taxes and, when people used to have to go vote, they give them a test that's impossible to do, or they give you a test that you can only do, it take you an hour and a half to do it, and you only get 5 minutes, and your 5 minutes up, you can't vote. Like people don't understand that those were real things that prevented us from being able to vote and put people in office. What a lot of our history, because it's been whitewashed, doesn't teach us is that after the Civil War, a lot of black people held office. And that what happened was that they were killed. They were just murdered. And that's why they're not in office no more. So you look at the history of things, if you're not informed on it, like you said, we're going to be reactionary. And I think that's probably what I was expressing to y'all when I was trying to talk to y'all about it, was because I feel very passionate about, hey, all you got to do is take out 30 minutes and go vote, and you just pressing buttons. And then the next step is, if you voted, then you said, hey, I voted for you, and now you're not doing these things. Like, we always talk about accountability. Well, that's how you hold them accountable. Send them an email. Like, you're an elected official. You have a duty to respond to me. And yes, most of your people will send you an automated email, but they're going to respond.
They're gonna respond, yeah.
So, but yeah, I think, like you said, it was good to see people rally and be motivated about, a cause. And I hope that people keep the same energy of wanting to be engaged about what's going on with LPRs, with license plate readers, and how LPRs can impact a specific neighborhood. Like, we know in Davidson County, motherfuckers don't drive through Belmead. Why? Because they was the first city that had LPRs and cameras, and if you drove on the left lane and if you wasn't passing, they was gonna pull you over because they got a sign that says that. It's things like that you don't realize how they police neighborhoods and how those things also impact the value of the house that you live in. All those things, it always ties back to money,
At the end of the day, I always tie back the money. Yeah, I think it's interesting too as well, because I think like they said, they send out notices beforehand. Like, I live in that area, and so like they send out notices consistently before the meeting. And so I think a lot of the times with like people who own businesses, a lot of times they don't own the property. And they don't get those same notices that the owner may get. And the owner, I don't go to the city council meetings, so I ain't gonna sit here and say I do, but I get the notices. I don't go to them unless it say something about where I am specifically on my map. But I think a lot of times we miss the mark on that too, because like you said, a lot of people don't have the ownership, or they don't own the place, so they may not even get the satisfaction of getting that email or that letter and notice to go. But that doesn't stop, like you said, the 1,000+ people that show up to support something because they think it's gonna stop a party or somewhere they go to hang out and kick it.
Yeah.
We need that same energy when it's like we're talking about like building and strategize and mobilize. And I think that's like the key too, is like we gotta start reading in between the lines, because it's like they see us when we show up for something that's like, they gonna stop selling hookah, girl. They gonna stop doing the Don Julio, girl. But
sometimes we just ain't informed until it's too late. Like, by the time it's gotten a rise out of everybody, it's like, man, this shit in motion. Like, you know what I mean? Like you said, a certain legislation is changing, funding's changing on this. This shit is getting shut down. It's been a year in the making. It's, on its way out.
It's also interesting too. Like, I think, I don't know, me and Crutcher, man, you was talking. I was telling y'all, like, because I ran for office, I'm already plugged in with the machine, and so I'm getting emails about hosting parties and doing. I'm like, oh, this person's running for this. This person's running for this. And it's because they know that I'm in the know, or I've, submitted my information. So they're like, oh, we need to reach out to him. He's an early voter. He's this. Those are the ways that you have those conversations, like, and to know what's going on. Like, that's what started, like, oh, election must be coming up. I keep getting these letters from him. I need to, he want me to give to his fundraiser or whatever, but like you said, the resources are there. Like, you don't have to go to the council meetings. Like, they stream them online. Like, you don't have to go in. You can just pull it up on your phone and watch what's going on. You can watch committee meetings that way. But again, a lot of it is that we're just not, we don't have it doesn't affect us until it affects us. And then once it affects us, it's like, well, how can I get, play catch up kind of thing when other communities are integrated. It's a part of their, it's integrated into their culture to be involved in that because they see how it impacts them.
How do you think we can get our generation to care more about local politics and shit like that? Because I think, like, back in the day, even with my dad growing up, I've seen him go to these meetings and these town hall meetings or whatever. How do you think we can get our generation to actually truly care about something important, not just frivolous entertainment shit, like this, like stuff that's really important?
I think a lot of it, so I think one of it is education. You have to understand how politics impacts you from a federal, from a state, from a local level. I don't think that people realize that like, people be frustrated at the Democratic or Republican nominee or individual, like the figurehead, and that person, helps drive policy nationally, but it informs what's going to happen at the state level. Nashville is somewhat of a dichotomy because we are a blue city in a red state, and so Nashville doesn't like the politicians in the state of Tennessee that are Democratic do not have to show up to work, and the Republicans can pass laws without them because they can get a quorum, which is required to vote. There's a certain number of representatives. They can get that without any Democrats participating, period. So they don't need us to make government. Like, but how do you get people informed and excited about it is to get them educated to understand, like Afton Ben just ran for a seat, a special election for representative, I think District 6, because a person resigned. And they mobilized the vote to say, you know, it was at first a 23-point spread, meaning that 23% of the population, it was supposed to be that wide of a spread for the vote between Republican and Democrat. And she closed it within single digits. I think it was like 6 or 7 points, which is a far swing when you're told, hey, this is a Republican state. Well, maybe we're not so Republican, and it's just been gerrymandered in a way to where the vote is not equal. Like, getting people aware of those things gets them enthusiastic to think that you can make a change. Like, I can remember vividly when I was working for Obama for America in 2007, 2006, before he was elected in 2008. And it was because I felt like the work that I was doing, knocking on doors, having conversations with people that didn't look like me, or they didn't necessarily think the way that I thought or came from the same background, but we had a common goal of, you know, the thought was believed, like you can be a change or something like that. And because everybody latched onto that, like the energy rose, the excitement rose, and you were able to swing some different states and different things like that. So here, I think that they have to be aware of, you can make a change and a difference, and it's not going to happen overnight, but you have to be persistent and understand how it affects you for you to feel like, okay, I can do something about this.
Yeah, I think education, like you said, and engagement, like, when you just said that, like, I was around you. I didn't know you was doing that shit in 2006, 2007. One, I was doing some whole other shit, wild shit.
Yeah.
But you were in the know. You were aware, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you were doing to be aware, to be involved. I think a lot of times we just don't know. You know, like the Ice Cube thing, boys in the hood, you know, they don't know, they don't.
And it's directly like affects you. Like I said,
Right,
with
and
young
that's when, by that time it's too
Yeah,
late.
It's too late.
It's damn near too late. But it's like people with voices, people that are in the know, it's like it gotta kind of become our duty to inform others. And that's why even, like, I imagine, like, politics it ain't gonna ever gonna be the hot topic in our culture. Even, like, as a hip-hop artist, it used to be, though. You know what I'm saying? The Public Enemies and et cetera.
Yeah.
Like, there was social commentary. There was like, rap primarily was a form of journalism almost. And a lot of people, like, wore that. They wore the cause, like, literally fight the power and all that. They wore it on their sleeve. It was in the music. It was, and they, the same way you were saying, like, they fought against censorship. They fought like hell for niggas to be able to you know, make a throw baby song. Like, I mean, it was, you know, going to Uncle Luke, like, it's breadcrumbs that let you arrive at, like, you know, without an NWA, it wouldn't be NBA Youngboys and whatnot, because a lot of that, but more, as much as anything, like, there was a drive to, like, change things. And I think we've settled into just, like, not being aware, just kind of being aloof, to the point where, like, that's the norm, that's the status quo. It's almost, like, cool just to, like, not give a damn what's going on around you. But I, like, until you swallow whole, like, we talking about North Nashville, and I'm asking, like you said, that's your stomping grounds, and like, we have roots there. But we watched East Nashville change. You know, all those landmark places, black-owned restaurants, like, they either disappeared, got bought out, moved out the way, not thought of anymore. They just history to us. And if you weren't there and lived it, this shit just might as well never happen. Yeah. So it's certain things, like, you know, when you hear about it, it's like, oh shit, they trying to get niggas out the way. Like you said, to boost their property values. Like, niggas don't know.
Well, that's one thing I think that probably got me passionate about at least Nashville, because when it was happening in East Nashville, I felt so offended, because it was like, at first, East Nashville was like, if you said you was out east, then people look at you funny like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? And then it became when you in East Nashville and you from there and there's some other folks there that are new there, and they looking at you like, what you doing over here? Like you don't belong.
Yeah. I think it goes back to what Lo said earlier about ownership. Like a lot of people don't own any property there, and they don't, like I remember back when I was little, it's a newspaper article with my dad. They was about to close down Cleveland Center, and he went down there and spoke to, I think it was Bill Bonner at the time. I may be wrong, but he went out there and got up there and spoke out like, hey, if y'all, get rid of this center, where these kids gonna go play at? You think crime bad now? Just wait till the center gone. Where they gonna be at? And I think that it's stuff like that. It's important to know that you have to go out here, because when they're trying to get rid of shit, they're trying to get rid of certain things, and if you don't know about it and it's gone, you wonder why you.
I mean, like I was gonna say they got rid of a lot of, because I was gonna say like I remember at least when we was younger, we'd go to like Harmon Park in the center in the summertime. Like I don't think that there are any programs like what we was doing, because like I mean if you think about it, being 12 years old, you too old for certain camps.
Yeah.
And so you just be going up to the rec center because it's open and you got to bring your own lunch or go back home or whatever. But like they don't have that no more.
Yeah, a lot of the camps and a lot of the programs, they like struggling, or they're working within the confines that they already got, like the only resources that they have. And so a lot of times you don't see the big like summer camps that you used to see, or like the advertisement or the things that you see, because there's so many different like pockets of like summer camps and organizations and nonprofits, and a lot of them are getting like funded.
It's the money.
Yeah, it's the money. It's a lot of them getting funded from different programs in different ways, and so they only able to either support these certain type of kids or these certain demographics, and so it's kind of tainted in a sense. But it's like they did. A lot of the people that I know that work in the industry, and even myself, like you kind of working with what you got, and you trying to make it like last. You trying to spread it out, but you also like trying to make sure that the kids that you servicing on a day-to-day basis got their needs. And so it's like I don't know. The youth is a weird, like it's this like weird gray area right now, especially because it's like the accountability from the adult standpoint, and then like the ingenuity that the kids have, and so it's like it's conflicting and it's clashing. So it's like it kind of creates this off balance of where like who, like what's the middle ground of like the kids being so smart that the adults can't handle it and they don't want to handle it, and they don't, like, it's just, I don't know, it's just this ball of fire of like, you see these kids, they're like just super smart. They're like they're way ahead of their time. Like we thought we was on one. They're like 10 times smarter than us right now. And the conversations, the things that they have, like the stuff that you think that they're not talking about or not knowing about, like they know about it. They doing it. They've done it, or they're like about to do it. And so it's like, I don't got kids, but I work with kids like all day, every day. And them little boogers is something else, man. Y'all watch y'all kids. I'm telling you, they different, dog. They you think you know your kids, but get your kid at a summer camp or with their friends and what they get to talking about and what they mannerisms and stuff they watching, y'all. That's all I can say. Until I have a kid, I give y'all more, you know what I'm saying, advice. But
that's what I said. Engagement, education. Like you said, how do you get people excited about it? It's really and tuned in and tapped in. Even when you're saying that, I'm like, youth sports. Like I was saying, I'm a sports guy. Like the whole setup of that is changing. When you talking about summer camp, like my daughter went to the same camp that I went to at the same age, and it was like 4 or 5 kids in her age group. When I was in that same age group, it was 30, 40 of us. We was having full football games, like, you know, and that was just the boys. You know what I'm saying? It was like almost it was plenty of counselors and stuff too, but I'm like, damn, it's the same camp. And the facilities are 100 times better than when we was there. But it's like, and then you look at youth sports, it's such big business that there's no learning curve anymore. It's either you got the money to, you just had a tournament, a 3-day tournament this weekend. You got the money to get the training and level up real fast, so you kind of left behind because ain't no teaching no more. It's either like you advanced and then it's really a money grab from sponsorship on down. It's like,
I got this theory. You know, they got rid of all the PAL leagues. I don't know if y'all got PAL in your city, but the police athletic, you know what I'm saying, leagues.
League,
yeah, they used to have them a lot in it, you know what I'm saying, growing up. And I think what we experiencing and seeing right now, especially with a lot of like, you know, youth violence, like we don't got PAL leagues no more to where like if you had the Bulls, I had the Lakers, I had my team, you had your team, our kids playing against each other, but me and your children playing against each other, they getting to know one another. So by the time they become our age or younger than us, they already have this respect for one another that I played against them. Even though we beefing on the basketball court, that don't mean we gonna be into it when we get on the street, because that's such and such son, that's such and such kid. Like it create this, you know what I'm saying, universal of like community or understanding of what it's like. We're gonna go at each other on the court, but like in reality we understand and we know each other. I think it kind of just like we don't have spaces like that no more. Like, you know what I'm saying, the midnight basketball leagues, just spaces to where
community.
people community is lacking enough to where like even you go in a space like that and you let your comfort down, you let your guard down.
How much do you think gentrification plays a part in that?
Vacation?
Gentrification.
I think that's one of the biggest factors to the deterioration of community and the trickle down of it. Like a lot of people, the idea of like zone schools and shit is almost like a lot, like, you know, we brought in charter schools and I mean that's a whole nother conversation. Like, but you moved everybody around. Like them teams you was talking about, a lot of times it was localized. It was you play for your neighborhood team, you play for the center.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we was going to other community centers and playing. Like you say, I got lifelong friends that I played with or against in youth sports. You know, when we did the 5K with Jake, like we played 7 and 8-year-old football against each other. Like I played on a different side of town from like him and Fridge. You know, these like me and Red Dot. Like I know all these people from like youth football, but they was playing on the South Side team. I was kind of getting recruited and moved around, but I played youth football on like 3 different sides of town, kind of thing. But it was localized so that it's so much less of that. Like me and Bubba Taylor had a youth program that at our height we had 200 kids, and it was around the time that PAL was, you know, they was shifting, you know, and other people stepped up in different programs and brought it up. But we brought a program to East Nashville that was able to, for however much time, keep 200 kids like out of the way, off the streets, doing something constructive. But just the same, we're getting run out of leagues because it's kind of like, you know, the infrastructure part of it, or it's like we don't want that energy versus it's more affluent areas that might got more kids than that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of it was the money. You know, like to me it was a passion project or whatever that I might have been putting into it, because people like Bubba and the coaching staffs and volunteers were really like feet on the ground, committing their time, volunteering and working with it. I was more on the sponsor level. I wasn't even living in Nashville a large amounts of time. But like the commitment and all that, it starts with community. And as everybody disperses and, you know, so many of my peers I see getting pushed out to Clarksville and, you know, outskirts and beyond, outside of Davidson County, nowhere near like where we from. It's just kind of like, well,
and can't even afford to live where we're from. Like East Nashville right now, with the average home price with $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. Like it's ridiculous.
Man, one thing that we know for sure is we ain't the only one dealing with gentrification. That's what I'm coming to find out. Like when you go in different cities, when you talk to other people, and I'm sure y'all watching it right now, y'all probably experiencing the same thing where you lived or where you grew up at. I think that was part of the reason, like, even like the beginning phase of like the journey is just like giving people a chance to like talk about something, because like you grew up in a place where you can't never really go back to, or you can't really, you know what I'm saying, it don't hold value to what you, it ain't the same. And so a lot of people like experience that same feeling. And I don't know, it's just like one of those things to where it's like we talk about gentrification in the aspect of where like even we talk about Buchanan. I know a few of the developers on Buchanan, and a few of them are black, and they're looking to build like for more essential businesses, places, you know, where people in the community can use, whether it's a grocery store, whether it's a pharmacy, whether it's a bank or things of that nature. But then you think about like some of the stuff that's already been on Buchanan or in the neighborhood or area where you from, you like, but I'm so used to this, the spot with the tie, Robin Hood ties, they rob in the hood. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just so used to that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so used to, you know what I'm saying, the fish spot on the corner, but then you get this elegant fish spot. Like, it changes the dynamic of the area.
We gonna ride it. They get rid of his
Nah, they don't think they gonna get rid of his fish. They own that.
Bro.
But I'm just saying, it's like, we want more value and bang for our buck, just as much as when they put the bike lanes out. It's like, man, we've been riding bikes all our lives and we never had a bike lane. But when somebody comes to community and they go to the city council meetings and the boards and they raise hell, the same kind of hell we could have been raising, just as much as like I'm on a rampage, because this is what I be doing. I go around my neighborhood and listen to my grandmama gripe about her problems. So even her is like, she want to build her house. Her house falling apart. They give you grants and loans, you know what I'm saying, to do that through the state, through the government. And so it's like we don't know about the same resources and opportunities because ain't nobody out there preaching or giving us the chance to even learn about them.
Yeah, when you asked me about gentrification, I guess I don't really know how to classify it. I think that some people would just say that I'm a capitalist, because I think that, because one of the debates one of me and my good friends have a lot is, if you had the opportunity to invest in any business, are there businesses that you would say no to? And like one of the ones we talk about are like liquor stores, corner stores, bars. You know, because I think the conversation was that they were talking about was that Jelly Roll was invested in some type of bar, but he also is, you know, was talking about, you know, his religion and some other things. He's a devout Christian. And the topic was about, you know, well, do you separate the two? Because one is going to lead you down this quote unquote path, or, you know, one other way. And when I think about those types of businesses, like, I don't think I would ever invest with the CCA, Core Civic, just because of what their business model is. To me, it's like modern day slavery.
It's on prisons,
CCA prisons, Core Civic.
They giving out a lot of money too.
Yeah, they are. But the other aspect is that would you invest in like a check cashing place, because they generate a lot of the revenue.
Predatory.
But it's predatory, you know. But then the same thing, like people say about liquor stores, like you look in the black neighborhood, you're going to find, you know, every corner, every other corner, you go to a different area, you got to go to the town center where the other stores are next to the liquor store. But
when we going to get our money then? Because they doing it. They coming in our neighborhood doing it.
Well, that's what I'm saying about gentrification. Like, if you have the opportunity to tear down a single family unit in North Nashville and put two tall and skinnies on it, you know, is it gentrification because you from the area and you stand to benefit and you put money into it?
Them
like
tall and skinnies going up. Yeah, I'm gonna turn the hood up, because I'm gonna take that money and I'm gonna reinvest it in something else.
Gentrification is deeper than that. I think it's terrorism. Honestly, I mean, you raise it. Part of it, I think you raise property taxes, right? It's get like too fucking high, and the people that's been living that own this fucking property for so long, they on a fixed income. You know what I'm saying? They're not making no more money. Now they can't afford to live there no more.
So my response to that would be, is if they're over 65,
get that tax
they
loan
can get
freeze.
Not even the tax loan, they get a tax freeze.
Tax freeze.
So there, because our grandmother went through that when her house, when they were gonna change the property tax, we had to fill out some paperwork for it. So again, it's like education.
A lot of people didn't know that.
Because
education.
Because then what you talk about is if this person that's, you know, on the property deed and they've got the tax freeze because of their age, what are you going to do for the next generation once it changes? Like, are you prepared for that?
Man, I'm going through that right now.
Yeah, like, because you don't want to lose the property, you know,
Going
but
through it
you
right
also
now.
have to recognize that the value of the property is going up. Now, to your point, you do want the property value to go up. Like, if I buy some property, the taxes go up, that means that the value of the property is also going up. Like, yes, I'm gonna have to pay some more money in taxes, but I also get more equity in the property. And so it becomes you know, I may not have the money to pay in January, but I can call the people and tell you, hey, I'm gonna pay you this much in January, pay this much in April, in July, and so forth. But I mean, I'm not saying that redevelopment is not used in a way to displace people, but I also look at it like, well, if we're gonna say that because this particular investment vehicle displaces people, does that forbid me from ever being able to invest there? And so then that limits how I can exponentially grow my money for my legacy, while my counterpart, they don't even give a fuck. They not even considering my neighborhood. They just gonna make the money because it's like, well, shit, it's money to be made. So that's what I mean by like those kind of, like if somebody says, hey, I'm gonna let you invest in my liquor store, we gonna put it right here on Buchanan. We know it's gonna do numbers. You know, can you a good conscience live with that? Because they cash checks too.
They do.
They give you a little 10%. They gonna charge 10%, 15%, and cash that payroll check.
I had a contractor tell me the same thing, shoot, basically like, man, I ain't never met nobody developing in your neighborhood that look like you. He's like, man, I want to help you. I want to help you from step to step. And me, myself, I don't know anything about it. This is my first rodeo. All I'm thinking in my head is like, man, I don't want to mess this up because it's my property, this family, this tradition. I don't want to mess something up for the next generation.
Yeah.
And so, like, they take me through the steps. Pay for a blueprint, get it done.
Get approved.
Get it approved. Don't even use the blueprint. I ain't heard from the contractor since then, but he wanted to help me, you know what I'm saying, and do, yeah. So it's like, man, it's a shady. It's shady.
I mean, it kind of go back to, I think one of the first topics we had talked about was about gatekeeping. You know, like, how do you find somebody that you can work with on that level and trust to be able to say, here's what my vision is? Because I tell you, Crutch, I felt the way that you feel about gentrification when I was living in East Nashville, watching it flip in real time and watching people get displaced. And I was pissed because I was like, damn, they ain't got the means to do this or to be able to be, they renting. And so the landlord is like, yeah, as soon as your lease up, you up out of here. Because I'm finna flip this and cash out, you know. And then it became a inspiration for me to say, well, how can I be a part of it? Because at least I know that I'm gonna have some morals and integrity with how I am a landlord. Like, I'm not gonna be a slumlord, you know, because I understand, like, I wanna give somebody a place to know that they gonna lay their head, you know, raise their family, do what they gonna do. And they ain't gotta worry about their landlord being like, hey, buddy, you know, your lease due in 30 days. We finna up this rent, or you can move out because I'm, you know, do it. Like, I'm not, at least that's not how I operate. I can't speak for everybody, but that's kind of where I look at, like, it's not like an ethical or unethical thing, because I'm looking at it like, again, I got the money to invest. Why can't I invest in my own neighborhood, you know, whereas, again, somebody else is going to hire the same contractors to do the same stuff, and they don't care what happens there because they like, well, shit. Like, the builders in the neighborhood that I live now, they don't even live in Middle Tennessee. They live in Dixon, and they just drive up here every day to work, build the houses, make their money, gone, you know?
So you don't feel like it's terrorism? It's kind of perspective.
Nah, I look at it like, you know, they're, like I said, CCA, I ain't gonna invest with them, but I'm not opposed to other businesses that generate revenue that are other people's vices, because we all got vices. Like, if I could get a way to sell you internet or get in that stream with Xfinity, I'm in there. They got a monopoly on Nashville too.
So with you feeling like gentrification's terrorism, is that more who's behind it? Because like you said, if you got ahead of it, or if you had the resources to like build up your own area, I mean, I guess it's a matter of like intention or integrity or whatever. Like, like you said, it's people that's like they're not tied to it. It's business, you know. On one level, business is business, and then the other level, like you have heritage, you have history that can just get, you know, washed away based on preference. So does it matter who's doing it? Because a lot of like this city at large is changing. It's been changing, you know, our entire lives essentially. It's probably not gonna stop changing and growing. We're getting a $2 billion stadium and probably a Super Bowl sooner than later. And we see just how certain events change in the short term. But so do you feel like it's the powers that it's like a power, or, you know?
I mean, it's just pushing out impoverished people. I feel like it's predatory. It's predominantly black people.
That's
And
America though.
yeah,
But
you know what I mean. But it's I feel like I don't know.
I think one thing that I know the one thing we talked about before Crutch was so you and I talked a long time ago about trying to do some real estate deals.
Right.
Remember that?
Right.
And when we were talking, we talked about how we had just watched what happened in East Nashville and what we call like the last frontier is North Nashville. And that's because we know like historically that's where black people got displaced within Nashville's own redlining. And so this is like the last real area of Nashville that you can quote unquote flip or gentrify, do something to. And so like I definitely understand what you're saying as far as it's pushing out predominantly, you know, people of color, and it's just by default because that's the last place that's left to gentrify. And like you've already done East Nashville, West Nashville done got its facelift. Bellmead is always gonna be what it's gonna be. You know, Antioch is going through what it's going through with the Tangier outlets and all what they got going. They getting their attention. I mean, still Bell Road is dangerous, but the airport's about to get its expansion and upgrade. So if you look at like the points in the city, the place that hasn't got the attention is, you know, out north. And that's one of them things where it's like you said, where can people go? Because there's not affordable housing. Like I know that there's a building downtown, it's a condo that was specific for affordable housing and is not being rented right now. But like I think a lot of those things are what are the issues because there's not places for those displaced people to go in the city limits now because they're just priced out because of the market, even though a lot of those spaces are empty.
A lot of them places, though, they also got barrier to entry. It's like you got to have a certain credit score, a certain something to do, and it's like you already behind the 8 ball. So it's like I got to have a certain credit score, and I got to have rent, and I got to have this as well. But you told me this was for artist housing, or you told me this was for low income, so it's. I mean, we talk about it all the time. It's the system. It's one of those things. If you in it, you in it, and if you know what I'm saying, you can kind of see from what it is. You kind of are able, not necessarily able to manipulate it, but you're able to work within
to benefit it. Yeah, because
yeah.
I remember when I was reading the Bigger Pockets book where they're talking about multifamily housing, and I was talking to you about trying to figure out how to house hack by buying a duplex, living in one side and having a tenant, because then you get your housing essentially for free and you getting your tenant to pay the mortgage on the property while it's building your personal asset to then you can then go to the bank and say, hey, I got a debt service credit ratio loan over here where this person's paying more than what I got to pay. Let me take some loan against this and then get another property, but I mean, I didn't have that information at 20 years old when I was looking for my first house, when I was trying to figure out what my, thing was going to be for real estate investment. And now that I have the knowledge, it's like, I wish I would have had it. But at this point, I'm not in a position to be trying to live in a duplex with, a wife and kids. So I had to figure out different routes to,
I don't know, man. It's different, man. Gentrification is like one of them weird topics. I think we definitely got to get somebody in here kind of speak on it from the standpoint, especially Nashville, as far as like the history side, because it's a lot of history that we don't know. Like you talk about the red line, the I-40 of Jefferson Street. It's just a lot of Nashville history, I think, that's slept on that we not necessarily don't know, but it's just I haven't been told or they don't want it to be told. So I got somebody we're gonna connect with. We try and get on the show, historian for sure.
I feel like that, that's a big part of what we're here for. Is let's merge them lanes of like entertainment and lifestyle with education and awareness, and in the name of progress, like in the name of like building ourselves up like from the inside out. Like the more you know, the more you grow. I think that was some shit that used to be on like Saturday morning cartoons and shit. But yeah, just in a real way, cause it's not. It ain't that valuable to have the information if it's just stored away and nobody, no one stands anything to gain from it, so to say. And I think that's the system, and that's what the system is built on. But like we on the short end of the stick, as they say, or we get the least or the worst of it. So I'm hoping as we continue to blossom and grow with this that we do bring in some experts. I'm looking forward to some of our guests we got slated just to tell their stories, or like I think hope is what people are shy of because we just don't know any better. Literally, like if you knew better, you do better. A lot of times we don't know better. You know what I'm saying? We go for what we know, and it's the least. We know the least, so we get lesser results. But that's where we at with it, and. If it's not your cup of tea, then so be it. But it's I appreciate these kind of conversations for what it's worth.
Yeah, man, because, I mean, like I appreciate having different perspectives to help challenge me because I can be pretty selfish. And, I mean, I'm just being honest, and sometimes, like I admire Malcolm X, Huey P. Newton, like I admire our martyrs, but like I know, like I probably talked to each y'all about this, like, there was a certain point in my time of my life where I was extremely militant and extremely like in your face pro-black about everything. And it's not that I'm not pro-black now, it's just that I've taken a different path. And I think a lot of it has become because of the intimidation of our government. Like, you see what they do. They created COINTELPRO to destroy the Black Panther Party. They assassinate our leaders, and you get too powerful, nigga, you up next. Mm-hmm. And so I think that I became very apathetic to the plight of the community as a whole, because I don't think that our community appreciates those that have sacrificed the ultimate sacrifice for us. Like even thinking about, Martin Luther King Day, like they appreciate him in death, but they didn't in life. And not just our people, just in general. How they try to whitewash him and he's so nonviolent and all this, not really realizing, not that he wasn't about nonviolence, but they take that as, he's a meek sheep that don't have no teeth, and
he was big. He was pro-guns, too.
Yeah.
He was pro-guns, for sure.
And the fact that they knew, that they had a relationship, but they decided that it didn't make sense for them to publicly let people be aware of that, But, like, that has made me be more selfish. And that's why I say that I can be selfish, because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I do care about my people, but those same people will be in the comments and be like, man, fuck you. Fuck whatever you got going on. You know what I'm saying? And... and then at the end, then it's like I'm doing these things and trying to make these sacrifices for people that don't care. Mm-hmm. And I don't have the integrity that Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, where they finna take it. Like, I'm not. Like, if y'all show, like, once you show me you don't give a bet, cool, cuz. Like, I'm cool on it.
It's like, man, it be feeling like my day job, because it's you speaking for so many different businesses, and it's like one wrong decision that you make kind of affect them, and then they look at you as if you the leader of all black businesses. So like you might have sided with the devil, and now you don't care about black businesses. You only care about your pockets, or you don't care about us growing, or you taking money from us. So it's like you get all those sides of it, but then it's like you get the people that really like be in your corner, in your pocket, but then you also kind of like on the line of, like you said, the martyrs aspect, because you pushing for such a uncommon thing that a lot of people ain't just necessarily doing.
Well, that's what I'm saying about with Jimmy, like to challenge me, to help me see another perspective, to see how I could do it in a way that does benefit more. Because again, like when I look at, all right, like the thought of buying property, like doing a scrape and build is what it's called in construction when you tear down a house and build too. That's what they call them, bro. They don't care about the term gentrification. They counting the dollars. They looking at, it's going to cost me $125 a square foot or $175 a square foot to build this house. I'm finna sell this motherfucker for $325 a square foot, which means I just made $200 on 2. So you do that times 2, and they looking at they don't care about. And so like that's when as I'm talking to them about how they picking out and doing this, I'm like, oh, this is easy money. Like people gonna buy the house, so why not me? So like again, having y'all the challenge to be like, well, how does that help our community? Like how are we gonna not displace or make it to where somebody else can do the, you know what I mean? So that's what I say. Like I appreciate the conversation because it does help change my perspective. Because otherwise, a nigga just gonna be selfish and worried about people that's got the last name Shoot in my house. No disrespect.
That's cool. I got the last name too. I think the idea, like, one, speaking truth to power, like, obviously I'm in the entertainment side of things and sort of on the fringe of it because I just don't care for like norms or standards. Like, it just ain't really never been how I got down. But even when you mentioning that, I'm like, one of my all-time favorite artists, Tupac, you know, and he really straddled the line of like trying to like still be a voice and a vessel for certain issues. I quoted one of his songs and something I wrote, and I was laughing on the song "How Do You Want It," which went TikTok viral over the last couple of years. Song with I think Casey and JoJo. Man, in one verse he goes from "Tell me, baby, is it cool to fuck?" in the beginning of the song to about the middle of the verse, he's challenging politicians and C. Dolores Tucker and Bill Clinton and Bob Dole, and you know what I mean? And it's like really like vocal, militant, and outspoken about it. And I'm like, that shit wasn't never like, you know, I'm 10, 11, 12 years old, like, probably not fully processing what he's saying, but like the rebel spirit of it, or the idea that he wasn't gonna stay quiet about things that he felt like mattered. You know what I'm saying? Even for me to later want to be a rapper, become a rapper now, like that was some of that, the DNA of that got sprinkled along. It's, you know, the niggas rapping like they're trying to free the slaves, and it's like certain things. It's like your perspective can be frowned upon in versus what's entertaining or what's palatable or what's cool or whatever else. And it's like it is tough because, like you said, them same people be like, man, we ain't trying to hear that shit or shut this shit up, or like, you know, we only want to hear what appeals to us versus what's real or what matters or what's really gonna affect us. And so it's like, even with this, like, I'm trying to have them conversations. I don't know if doing it, how effective doing it musically will be, but I do feel like, all right, if people prop this up in my chosen career path, people think that's cool, then when you bring me in to talk, like, these are the kind of conversations I want to have. Like, despite like who you think I am, like that, you know, we cut the lights off in the studio and then I go on living the rest of my life. And it's, you know, the shit that outside of that or off of that stage is the shit that really affects me. We can pack out the show, sell out the show, and I go up the street and, you know, get mishandled by the police or whatever else. Or like you said, just I'm going back to an area where I ain't got certain rights, or that, you know what I'm saying, it ain't equal or whatever. And so it's like, you know, kind of pushing the envelope with these conversations. But I'm like almost personally challenged, like, how do we heighten certain levels of awareness as messengers? Like I said, it was trying to get back to that, the journalism aspect of like, I really want to paint a picture of the world around me, so to say.
Yeah, I think that's a question I asked everybody out there in the chat. What's challenging y'all right now? What's a challenge? You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to take upon each other, you know what I'm saying? We can do a challenge amongst each other and kind of see how that is. But before we get into the challenge, that headline gonna read, "Tell me how you want it, inspire Lito to rap."
Nah, I'm talking about last week. I'm talking about a song that I did. It's a song called Freddie Tiffany, upcoming. I quoted something from that song because there was a couple things I'm like, I feel like even as a diehard fan, there's certain things that I'm like, I didn't realize you said that. I probably could rap the first verse word for word, and then I'm like, getting to the second verse, like, man, I don't think I ever realized that you said
We gotta
this.
put
You
the
know, it's
lyrics
almost
up to it now.
like buried or coded, or certain things is almost laughable to me. But I'm like, man, people don't really be listening like that. You know, the ones that do, I guess, matter the most, or you know, the people most captivated or drawn in. But I'm like, I'm an irresponsible artist if I don't mind, if it doesn't matter to me what I say. You know what I'm saying? If I'm just trying to move a crowd, it's like, nah, I want to move the needle in terms of like thought, or you know what I'm saying? I want to challenge. I want to make a motherfucker go pick up a book. Like, what's that? Like, people tell, man, I had to look up this word when I'm like, good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of which, I was gonna say Casanat, the streamer, was streaming himself reading a book online. I think that's amazing to see.
Yeah.
Young man showing his flaw. I mean, because he had to Google a word to say, I can't remember what the word was. Spontaneity, I think was the word.
Minister Farrakhan speaks about that when you're reading. Like, if it's something you don't understand, go look in the dictionary and figure it out. You know what I'm saying? He spoke, and I always remember that. Yeah. Another book talking about, we was talking about gentrification, The Color of Law. I can't remember the author, but that talks about gentrification and redlining and just how.
Yeah, I mentioned that last time we was talking. I think.
And I think that's something that's a very important book. I think we all should read. Yeah, for sure.
I'm with that. Hey, y'all said something about MLK. Talking about he was pro guns. Another thing that I found,
He was strapped at all times.
he's strapped at all times.
True story.
I have a dream.
Yeah.
Another thing that I realized about him though, I was on YouTube. I'm pointing at the camera. You looking at me pointing at the camera. You know.
I'm just checking you out. I'm learning. I'm picking up. I'm picking up.
So I'm watching YouTube. I'm going down the YouTube rabbit hole, and so we looking up the best soul food restaurants, right? And so every soul food restaurant in America, like, you know what I'm saying, the best top 10. So I watched probably like 3 to 5 of them, me and my cousin. And every restaurant they went to, it had a story about Martin Luther King coming there and eating the food and playing pool. So it was like Martin Luther King is a soul food connoisseur. So if you out there looking on YouTube, check out Martin Luther King Goes to Soul Food Restaurant.
That's an interesting rabbit hole. That's a great rabbit hole. That's not.
But
that's
think
some other
about
worse
it.
ones you
He's
could've go
marching. He going to different areas of cities and across the country, and he like, where the food at? I'm gonna go to this soul food restaurant because it ain't too many restaurants you can go to. So imagine you going and touching every soul food restaurant
without the internet.
Without the internet too, like, you know what I'm saying? So you going to your rally, your speech, and they be like, yeah, hey, I got the best chicken over here, Martin.
Like, you
y'all,
know, he got somebody inside each town that's calling like, hey, now my boy Martin coming down. I need you to.
Like, come on,
They
think about how cold that is. That you get to go and touch every man. Come on, bro. Then that famous picture of him playing pool, that's in a soul food restaurant. Like every picture that you can probably that ain't outside is probably like in the soul food restaurant.
I read a story about how that picture came about.
The one with the do-rag?
No. When he was shooting pool, but it was like a gang leader or something. It was some type of gang thing that he was preventing or whatever. He was gambling against somebody. But I gotta find that story. But it's a pretty
man, look it up,
dope
y'all.
story.
I'm telling y'all. Y'all think I'm lying.
Going across the country, are y'all hip to the monks and their trek across? Because I know they were in North Carolina the other day. Some of my friends were to check them out.
What are they doing it for? It's like a peace walk. What is
something?
it?
Yeah, walking for peace. I think is what I read.
So I want to get in the field with them, but I don't think they passed through here.
No, they skipped us.
Yeah, they went from Georgia to North Carolina.
I listened to a book this year, late last year, I think like a month. And it's a pretty good book. Y'all might want to check that out too.
If they double back and come through this way, I'm gonna probably get in the field with them.
Like the monk that drives Ferrari.
I'll be right there with you.
The monk who sold his Ferrari.
The monk that sold his Ferrari, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be right there.
Yeah, that's real. That's like that Forrest Gump shit. Cause anyway, yeah. I'm not here to talk about my album. I'm just immersed in it because I'm like
and
I said.
And you can't stop. It's just bubbling up top. That's what it is.
That's why I said I was listening to R&B in the gym. It's like a palate cleanse. But Forrest Gump is a strong motif with this album. It's my favorite movie of all time. And
yeah, I remember when you used to act out the movie or quote the quotes from the movie just straight out from your.
What's your favorite scene from the movie?
First, you should get in character and do it.
I mean, we can get in character right now. What's your
nah,
favorite?
we ain't
He
getting
ain't
that
practicing.
character.
I'm talking
I
about
gotta
his
practice
the bubble.
but
See, you hear him.
But-
Guess one time.
my favorite scene from Forrest Gump. It's kind of fucked up, but it's not a singular. One of my favorite scenes is when they're at war, and you know, he's talking about how long it rained,
Mm-hmm.
and it just rained and rained. It's like describing all the different types of rain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and when the rain stops, it just go the fuck down. It's just like bombing, and you know what I mean. And I just wonder what parts of that movie are like rooted in some like fact, because some of the storytelling is obviously his worldview, his perspective is unique. But I was just trying to imagine like being at war and it rains for weeks and weeks and weeks, like torrential downpour, and then the moment it stops, it's just bombs and gunfire. You know, sadly his best friend get shot up and killed next to him, but Lieutenant Dan, he saves him for him to lose his legs. But prior to that, Lieutenant Dan goes on a whole tangent about keeping your feet dry and, you know, socks and whatever. You make sure you change your socks, and then, you know, 20 minutes later, Lieutenant Dan don't even have no damn feet to put socks on. And it's just, you know, it's just some like terribly ironic shit out throughout that movie. And I feel like 10-year-old me, like, it just kind of fucked. I should
First
say
of
it
all,
like that. It
is
changed
Forrest
my
Gump
life.
appropriate for a 10-year-old in
Well,
1994?
okay.
I watched it as a child too.
Yeah,
When it
I mean,
came
What
out.
happened? I got to middle school. I'm at a new school. I go from Alice Green to Meigs, 4th and 5th grade. So I go from a school that's about 80% black to a school that's like 25% black.
Yeah.
And so it's culture shock. The world around me is changing in real time. Even though I was now going to school closer to where I lived in East Nashville, it just was a different world. And we got in like 5th grade. This is, you know, new class, new school. I don't know what a single person in my, you know, homeroom or however that goes. I got a white teacher, but they like, what y'all do this summer, or, you know, just catching up, people introducing themselves, and they like, you know, people telling about their summers. Well, what movies did you see this? And somebody was like, a couple people, somebody was like, Forrest Gump. And then it's like, they said that, and I hadn't heard of the shit. Then I went home, and it was like, Academy Award nominee or something. It was nominated for all these awards. I saw that on TV like damn near the same time. And I was like, damn, that's that movie they was talking about with all the award nominations. People in school talking about it. It was off the radar for me. It was like, I remember watching Friday and CB4 and all kind of shit I shouldn't have been watching, just the same. So this couldn't have been as bad as that. You know, Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood was on loop down there around the way. And so I was curious to like, what is this? Like, that was the first time I've been around this many white people. And I'm like, what the fuck is this movie? And when I checked it out, it was long as shit, but I was like, damn. I watched it as if it was a comedy at first.
That's what I was
the other
saying,
part.
because that's what I remember is you acting out shit like being funny.
That's what when they mention a movie, people start imitating them, and I'm like, what the fuck y'all talking about? Box of chocolates. Life is like a box of chocolates. They talking in this real exaggerated accent, and I was like, so I watched it to laugh, damn near, because at other 10-year-olds, when they quoting it, they really only seeing the humor in it. But it was some deep shit. It was a history lesson. It was a lot of shit, a lot of layers to it. It was some things that was humorous or entertaining, but I was like, I just tapped into it, and like I said, watched it more and more, and even to this day, I take something different away from it. So the scene when they were at war in the rain, and that was one thing. Another, when Forrest Gump whooped dude ass in the Black Panther party. And it was like he was just so unaware of what was going on around him. And he apologized on the way out, like, you know, but he looked at the Black Panther party as a party, like a festivity, and not a group, you know what I'm saying, like a political party. Like, he was so literal, like, you know what I'm saying, his worldview was so pure. in that sense. Like he was apologizing for fucking up the party, and it's like, no, the Black Panther party is something else. But you know, it was he was just on the scene for so much shit, like historically. And I mean, I know it's a work of fiction, allegedly, but yeah, that scene. All my favorite scenes pretty fucked up. And when he met his son, that would have been if it was a top 3, because he didn't realize it was a son. And you know, it's like,
I'm gonna have to watch that movie.
he got a daddy named Forrest too. No, yours, dad. Crazy man. Like, yeah, you gotta watch it, bro. Challenge you. If we do the vegan shit, you gotta watch Forrest Gump every day.
Yeah,
For a week.
y'all go vegan for a month gonna change your life.
It was a week. I thought you said a week or two. Now
Right, no. First of all, it was try a meal. It wasn't no extended period of time.
We said a week.
Yeah, they said a week.
We didn't do it a week. What y'all need us to do? We ain't eat no meat, but what y'all want us to do? Yeah.
I want you to, I want you to watch Forrest Gump and
I can watch Forrest Gump.
Not every day.
Nah, but give me some.
I'm trying to think of a movie. One of my favorite movies. That's
Y'all got favorite movie? All the time. I know I said favorite football, best football movie or whatever.
Favorite
overall.
Movie, loving basketball.
I got 2. He said, "Love, man."
This nigga trying to go play with somebody for their
Mom,
heart.
I love
I'm play for
basketball.
your heart.
You got one?
Either Life or Harlem Nights.
Okay.
Poker Life. I've seen Life Part 45 times.
Me too.
You're an Eddie Murphy fan.
I'm changing mine. My bad. Point Break with Keanu Reeves. That's
Man.
Well, yeah, they both said 2, so I gotta come with a second one too.
Let me think, cause I like Silence of the Lambs.
Crazy.
Nah, man. Well, I had an English teacher, man. He was my football coach. This nigga had us watching that. But I like that. I like mind thrillers. Like non-animated. I don't say my favorite movie is an animated movie.
What's that?
Lion King.
Okay.
Hands down. I can sing the whole, I know all the words. All the words. Top to bottom. Had the soundtrack, the laser disc, all that.
It's crazy that Wild Robot is a better film. It just don't have music. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, it's a good movie, but like it's the music for me. If you ain't got no music, you lost me.
What's your other movie?
Deja Vu.
That's a good movie.
Talking about Denzel.
I'm talking about her.
Yeah. Denzel.
Her.
Paula Patton was in it.
Paula Patton 5.
Something about
Paula
her.
Patton 5.
Yeah.
But I like Deja Vu. If I had to name a second one, it'd probably be Deja Vu.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because like I actually have DVDs of movies that I like, because I don't never want to have to pay for them for streaming.
For sure.
What y'all watching right now? Like y'all got any TV shows y'all fucking with?
I've been thinking about putting out a content video, all the shit I've been watching on TV.
Mean, we not good enough for y'all?
I get my list. All right, come on.
I watched Landman.
Man,
I've been
hearing
watched the
about
season finale of Landman.
Landman's so cold, bro. That's probably one of the best TV shows I've seen in a very long time. Like everything about it is, just the storyline and the cast and like the women on there. It's rare to find a TV show where all the women are very, very, very attractive, and I,
ain't no black women on that show.
But listen.
I'm gonna check it
They
out.
are
It's
very,
based in Texas though.
It's based in Texas.
They were very
Plenty
attractive.
of black women in Texas.
I ain't saying that. That's not what I'm saying. Let me
I'm
finish my
saying.
follow up.
Every
The
woman on
area
that show
that they
was
are
attractive.
in, are there a lot of black people in Texas? Is a
Probably.
big ass fucking state.
Probably not, but
Man, lies.
those
Okay, I'm just asking the question.
Have you seen?
No, I
that?
mean I think it's a great show.
I don't
But
disagree with what you're
he's
saying.
about-
I'm just also trying to understand.
I was just saying that based on him saying all the beautiful female talent in
They
the
are
show.
very attractive. Very attractive.
I'm waiting on what's the show with Zoe Saldana.
Euphoria.
No, you talking about
Lioness.
Yeah,
Lioness.
that's
her name?
Lioness, yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that to come back on. Is it
Yeah.
back on?
Ain't back on yet.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that. I like that show. Like, I used to really like Yellowstone, and that's what led me to try
Landman.
Landman.
Yeah, Yellowstone was
because I think they got the same director.
same writer, creator.
I gotta watch both of them.
But I fuck with Yellowstone.
You seen Mayor
Kingstown?
Sheridan, I think is his name.
Taylor
Last name
Sheridan.
Taylor Sheridan. Yeah, he's a great writer. He's a great writer. He's cold.
Nah, I didn't get into. I watched the episode or two.
That one is just as incredible.
What was you saying?
Mary of Kingston.
Okay.
Yeah, really good. Really.
What was the other shows you said? Did you name all of them?
Nah.
I only heard like one.
I mean, here
and you said you was about to do a vlog for the content.
Yeah, I got you, bro. I got you, bro. Tell Me Lies. It's a pretty good show. You should watch it.
Telling Me Lies?
Tell Me Lies.
Oh, Tell Me Lies.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. I seen Kim Kardashian show, All's Fair. She,
watching that with your wife, bro.
I'm watching that because Kim Kardashian and Tiana Taylor in it.
I got some skims.
But your wife
right
did. Your wife did want you to watch it because it's about some lawyer shit.
They lawyers. They lawyers.
I missed that.
I we don't want to know.
Okay.
I got some skin pajamas looking at it. But anyway,
that's like too much like an endorsement. I ain't gonna show you, but I got some skims on right now.
Story.
Pause, bro.
All right, his and hers on
You
Netflix.
can watch Kim Kardashian show. I can't wear the
You gotta watch his and hers.
Are they comfortable?
White Lotus.
Too much information.
I'm gonna just keep naming those.
White Lotus.
Name and skin. Yeah.
White Lotus.
White Lotus.
I
Yeah, I
ain't
gotta
watched
watch it.
the most recent season. I like the first two seasons of White Lotus.
White Lotus.
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
fuck
watch
with the first two seasons.
I watch TV for a living. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
For a living.
You ain't only named 2 shows though.
I named about 4 or 5 of them, bro.
How you watch TV for a living? How that work?
I get paid to watch TV for a living.
Are they hiring?
You don't want to put us on, gang? You don't want to put the chat on?
Burning a gatekeeper.
Hey,
Come
chat.
on, bro.
You called him a gatekeeper. See, you doing that shit again. You need to take another one of them tests, bro.
Nah, man. I can't even tell y'all shows. I guess I watch.
Luke's a good one.
I watch some of them shows that you said his and hers, but I watch them in Spanish though. That's my thing. I watch all my shows in Spanish.
Man, you kind of like my son, bro.
Look, I was telling somebody the other day, I used to love going around joking.
Bro, he be watching shit in Spanish.
Bro.
I'm just saying, like, it's just kind of...
Man, your brain...
You might as well watch Narcos.
Nah, I watch it too, but you know,
Narcos
first of all, nigga, I was your Spanish teacher.
You was my Spanish teacher.
So... You know I speak Spanish.
You know I don't speak Spanish.
You didn't. Hold up. That ain't have nothing to do with my teaching style. It had everything to do with his application in the class.
I got caught cheating multiple times.
Yeah, man. He passed. He did pass.
I did pass.
I like to watch the shows in Spanish because, you know, it helps my brain, like, because I don't have people in my house that speak Spanish. And I used to like going around and be like, you know, I know black, I Dominican, you know. But I had to stop doing that since ICE, you know, I don't want them to deport my ass because it's too authentic. But yeah, I watched his and hers in Spanish. I watched Suits, LA in Spanish. I watched all the shows in Spanish, man.
Lincoln Lawyer, that's a good one.
Lawyer was good.
Man, I got a lot. I'm gonna write down all the movies and shows I've been watching because I've been watching some really good stuff. I'm trying to think of something else I've been watching that's good. Man, y'all be watching like Family Business. I'm in a real rabbit hole of like Tyler Perry and Carl Weber shows.
Nah, it's just the Netflix one.
It's on it might be on Netflix, but they got one called Family Business, and it's a black family and they like in the crime world, but they lives kind of touching different stuff, and then
they be in deep on some of them shows.
Yeah, it's just something to kind of get my mind out of the real world. They be pulling some capers.
That's I think most recent show was the morning show. That's what I was sitting here trying to think of.
Finish that.
I fuck with the morning show. Yeah. It remind me of it was a show that was on HBO and
the newsroom.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. Okay, yeah.
I fuck with the newsroom and the morning show is kind of
similar.
It's similar.
That was a heavy show.
Yeah,
newsroom. Yeah,
super heavy.
But because it's like some art imitates life type shit. Like you said, like some of those shows take you as an escape, get you away from. It's interesting because these shows are like showing the inner workings behind the scenes of the news, but in a fictional way. But they base it around real shit that happened in the news. Like this season might be shit that happened a year ago, a year or two ago. Like a strong theme was like the January 6th shit at the Capitol. That was like they plot line, some shit that really happened. You know what I'm saying? They base it around fictional people, but it's like, damn, you don't really think the trickle down how people in power, you know, might be covering shit up, or just the way behind the scenes, like y'all can't talk about that on the news. It's gonna fuck up our money over here. It's like, damn.
Did y'all watch Succession on HBO?
Yeah, I watched it.
So what's funny is I was reading an article today that talked about the real Rupert Murdoch family, who they say that's loosely based off of. That the family used the show Succession to figure out how to deal with their dad and the whole lawsuit thing, because they were looking at like PR angles and how to posture him differently so they could get a favorable settlement.
Did you ever watch Your Honor?
I feel like I started some of it. Yeah. That's a black lady that's a judge, or
no? It's a white man that's a judge, and
Everybody be saying that.
It's a show with a black lady that's a judge that I saw. It was like 3 years ago.
I like Your Honor.
I know you're talking about. Yeah,
I think COVID kind of fucked that show off a little bit because it halted production for a long time without the strikes, and otherwise it just felt like a different show after they not rebooted, but like
came back
continued.
Because they probably did have some changes. I forgot about the strike. The strike.
In the courtroom and shit on the second.
I'm gonna have to take a look at that though.
It's a good show.
Is it Spanish? They speak Spanish on it?
Man,
I can change the subtitle.
I'm surprised you didn't watch that.
Yeah,
that's a good show.
Well, I'd say it's hard sometimes for me to watch law shows.
That makes sense.
Because they be exaggerating.
And then like when I have to talk to clients, like I have to like tell them, it's like, hey man, this is not TV. I'm not a magician. Like I can't make shit appear out of the.
I learned that the hard way in court, dealing with some shit, trying to. I'm thinking I want to go to trial. I'm gonna take this shit to trial.
Hell no, you don't want to go to trial.
And what my lawyer was like, "Hey man, they gonna listen to you for 10 minutes, bro,
and they gonna tune you the fuck out."
Me? And I was like, "Damn," you know what I mean? So but on the TV shows in the movie, they be in the arguing all day.
But you see the jury looking so intent. Like these motherfuckers want to be on TV. That's why they looking so serious. People in the jury box, they got their notes up. Then they gonna be looking down, not paying attention. But yeah, like that. So sometimes it's hard for me to watch legal drama. Suits, I'll say, is not because a lot of it too is writing. Like you gotta tell a storyline in an hour. You know what I mean? And court cases take months, and some take years.
Yeah.
And so to be able to tell a story, like you have to have like a resolution for the story.
Yeah.
And that ain't what it happened. Like they skip 3 parts of what happens in a lawsuit. So for me, it's just because like I have family members be like, "Did you see this and such and such?" And I was like, "Man, that's not real life. Like,
I always ask.
It's not gonna happen."
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, like TV, televised, drama and shit or whatever, like that extends, or I guess just multimedia or whatever, to my career field. Like Dave, like Lil Dicky show.
Yeah.
Like I actually felt like a lot of, even though it's almost like satire or it is comedy, I felt like a lot of the shit like in that show was like very fucking accurate, and that was the humor of it. I mean, obviously he's giving his perspective and some of it mirror his journey, but when he just like some of the awkward shit that go on in studio sessions and otherwise, or just understanding like the nature of the business, like I felt like he was in his own way giving a real like unfiltered like
view into behind the scenes,
right. And I mean, obviously his worldview is vastly different than mine. I still could understand it, or like, it probably is a journey navigating this as a white dude or a Jewish dude or whatever. Like, and then like Atlanta touched on a lot of this shit.
I love
that show, bro.
I got off of it, I think, after the second season,
but when they was on some like rap shit, like Paperboy and that whole like plot, I'm like, man, this shit is hysterical, and it's almost like scary, the gravity or the like how true some of it is.
I was gonna say like Atlanta, I think I may have texted you like because they had talked about like the relationship between Vern and Paperboy because they were related on the show. And with us being related and me being in the same position, it was like I was like, man, this shit crazy. Like, because I feel like I done been in some of them same situations, like dealing with some shit.
The art versus the business, and your personal relationship
with us, like
and yes, like so that that was a couple that I'm like, damn, this shit kind of almost, like you said, where it's not accurate. It's like, man, this shit ain't nothing like this. Some of this shit is like, man, it's funny
It's funny.
because it's exactly fucking like that,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
in certain instances. But I like shit like that versus I like hate reality TV because
I
it's
don't
like
watch
the
that
fake
at all.
television.
It's the fakest shit.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
you
watch
can't
that
even
at
call
all.
it reality. It's scripted, scripted shit.
Yeah.
You know, and I be looking at a lot of that shit, like people that come from over on this side, like the music side, like it's sometimes like you selling your soul kind of thing, just or anything to stay in the light.
Like,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah.
Do y'all
it's
watch
cool.
like not fiction stuff like Game of Thrones type stuff?
Yeah.
No, I don't get
I
into
do.
it.
I ain't
I
never
like
watched
Game of
one
Thrones.
episode, but I was challenged to get into
Game
it.
of Thrones, it.
I
I
keep
can't
hearing
wait
good things
till
about it, but I
season
just
come out.
Yeah,
I
Game of
can't
Thrones.
pull
Didn't
myself
one
to
just
do
come
it.
out? The some just
Oh,
came
no.
out over the weekend.
It probably did because
the-
that's like the prequel or something leading up to
The House of Dragons.
House of Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was.
So I was
Yeah.
gonna watch that, and I was gonna watch Nashville.
So I tell you, talking about Nashville 911 show.
Nah,
The first one.
Nashville.
TV show.
Yeah,
soap
the TV.
opera.
Yeah,
No, I'm saying it's a Nashville
I
911.
know it's
Nah,
in
he
that.
talking
Nah,
about
I'm talking about
Nashville.
Nashville.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, it ain't like current. But yeah,
Nah,
it's gonna
okay.
tap back
Well,
into
if you
it.
watch the Nashville 911 show, the first episode, me and London in that show.
Y'all
Oh,
in the episode?
Yeah,
Like-
we some extras, nigga. We ain't getting no. She got a little screen time, but
Damn,
yeah, we
it's
ain't
just
doing
not
it.
telling the nigga that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that was in Nashville
Yeah, just-
911.
Yeah, I know
Show up
somebody
for the
was
screen,
a firefighter in one of the
yeah.
episodes.
But nah, that's cool. The reason why I asked you about the Game of Thrones because I did not watch the first season,
Yeah.
but like I wound up watching it because so many people were talking about it,
Yeah,
and I was
same.
like, man, let me just watch this shit to
Same.
see if it. And I was like, oh shit, this is
It's-
some good.
it's good.
Now the end of the Game of Thrones was fucking horrible,
Terrible.
but everything. I mean, it's just horrible. But everything leading up to
But
it
it's
was
good.
great.
It's a great. It's probably one of
If
the
you can
best
get
shows.
into like mystical shit where
It's one of
magic
the
and
best
shit,
shows.
I ain't into
you
it.
can't get into it.
Man,
Why
once you
you
get
can't get into no
into it,
magic,
it's
bruh?
cold.
You don't think that shit real?
Not that.
All right.
Nah,
Have you ever? Okay, let me stop.
I like.
They say it's
I
a
like-
world under Antarctica, like it's a whole place under Antarctica that we
I
can't
believe
go
that,
to.
but I don't think that's magic.
I like Snowfall. You said Antarctica. It made me think about
I
Snowfall.
never seen Snowfall.
It's like Stranger Things though, like the
Snowfall's
sci-fi.
like Stranger Things.
Nah.
I ain't watched Stranger Things. So
Yeah,
seen
I
that.
like Stranger Things. If
I'm
you,
gonna have to watch it because my daughter watching. I need to know what the
well,
fuck
I
she
think it's
watching.
what the 80s, 70s, 80s, like
Because
so,
they got a sample cleared by Prince, which is that's a whole nother conversation. Because never mind.
I mean, but once you watch Stranger Things, you gonna understand it. You gonna get it. You
no,
gonna
I
be
ain't
like,
knocked with that. I'm just saying Prince, if he was alive, would he have? Because Prince
probably
didn't.
not.
He didn't fuck with a lot. Like he would like
He didn't fuck
artists
with
that wanted to
nothing.
work with him.
Yeah.
He was like, "Are you signed to a label?
yeah.
Call me when you're not signed to a label."
Yeah.
So for him, like him be commercialized like
Yeah.
that to me goes against what I know of him,
Yeah.
what I've learned of him.
Yeah,
So
I
I'll be
can
interested.
see you saying that, but I think a lot of people judging the show. Once you see the show, you gonna appreciate it for nostalgic reasons,
Yeah.
and then just the I don't know you gonna be rooting for it in the sense
Yeah.
once you get into it, but okay, I get why this was
Okay.
such a phenomenon.
Okay.
Like it's one of those like shows where you kind of like waiting on it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like honestly, have y'all ever seen what is it, Lovecraft Country?
Man,
Nope.
man, they should not have canceled that.
They
oh
should
my
not
goodness.
like so.
Oh
If,
my
just imagine
goodness.
if Lovecraft Country was Stranger Things. Like if they got the same just run and do like it's the same. It like
Is that
it,
the one with Jordan Smollett?
yeah.
Yeah,
It
I like-
reminds me like
It has some magic
like,
stuff in it. You fuck with
man.
that?
I like her. I like
Okay.
her.
That's
Okay.
Juicy Smollett's sister, right?
Yeah.
Just-
yeah.
just-
Jesse.
Dave Chappelle joke.
You stupid.
She was on
Oh.
was she on the Cosby Show?
No,
I ain't
Bayou. Eve's Bayou.
Eve's Bayou.
on
She was
TV
on something
shows.
else
She may
too.
have been on the Cosby Show.
Full House.
Okay,
Eve's Bayou is what I remember her from.
gotcha.
Full
Nah,
House.
she's
That's crazy.
she's a great actress. Very talented actress.
Yeah.
But nah, Lovecraft Country was a moment in time,
I think
man.
your perspective of female actresses being talented is it could be what with the programming on mute.
No. She's really good. She's really
Subtitles.
good. I believe her when she performs. And back to Landman, all those women on there were very talented actresses.
You know any of the actresses' names?
Big pardon? I'm not good with names, but I know they. I know
good
their
with faces?
Yeah, I know their faces. I'm not good with names, but you know.
Any of those actresses in Landman on like Sports Illustrated or made any of the covers like that? Yeah,
I don't think so. But they
could, they should.
They did really good in Landman. Tell you that much.
We're gonna check Landman out.
Nah, please watch.
Y'all let us
Y'all
know what
got-
y'all watching too in the chat. Like, put us on game. I done gave
What
them all my
movies coming
suggestions.
out? What shows y'all,
Yeah, I'm
y'all
trying to,
got
you know,
for us?
We might need to do. We're gonna watch movies. We're gonna go do a.
We might need to. We can do
I
a
don't
movie
think
and
that'll
discuss a
work.
movie or something like that. We ain't got to go together.
Yeah,
I ain't watching no movies.
You ain't watching. Yeah, we ain't got to
You
go
don't want to
together.
go moves with me, buddy.
You know, man, what the Dave Chappelle episode with the man with the popcorn? Player haters. No. All right, man. Look, y'all, this is a Work in Progress podcast. We all got something we got to work on up into the next podcast. I'm excited about the next episodes. Y'all should be too. If you ain't already watched the last couple episodes, go back, make sure you watch them, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow, make sure you tag your people and let them know about the episodes, because if they ain't seen them yet, what you waiting on? Why you ain't told them about it? What you doing? Let them know.
Make sure to like and subscribe and comment below. Or whatever, however that goes. My daughter be saying this shit all the time, so.
She right. She right. We're back with another one. Hey, though, I had a great time with y'all fellas today, man. I learned a lot about y'all.
What you working on
What I'm working on
next time?
for the next time. I'm working on. Damn, it's a great.
We'll come back to you.
Come back to me.
I'm
man.
working on my left. We're gonna get some jumpers up like we did Pilates. We got other.
we playing 2 on 2. Are we playing 2 on 2?
Time out. Before we get to that, we do have an activity that's already scheduled, right?
No.
Yes, because y'all saying that y'all gonna do 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
25
Boxing?
minutes.
February 21st.
Oh, that's February 20th.
Oh,
that's
that's
a long,
not
that's
probably
long.
not the next
Yeah,
activity.
yeah,
We're
we
gonna
gonna
Are we
run.
gonna do something in between that?
I hope so.
Yeah.
My body needs to
we ain't
recover.
gonna do it. We supposed to do something this weekend. There's supposed to be a lot of snow, so
Yeah.
I'm
figure
getting the
that
fuck out of here.
25
It's over
minutes.
with. I'm
Yeah.
going to mix and
That's
master.
why he's going to
Okay,
Miami,
okay.
ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to mix and
snow.
master my album, but I am dodging the snow.
Yeah.
Smart man.
snow. But
Or we get a lot of it, and I just be stuck in Miami
might
like
not
for a
get
little
that.
So you
while.
talking about we gonna do 2 on 2
yeah,
basketball? That's
listen,
gonna we gonna.
hey, me and you.
I was
them
saying
too.
shoot some jumpers,
Nah,
play
Now how we
horse
gonna
or
put the 2
something.
short ones against the 2
We
tall?
might need to
I
ones?
just
don't think
bring
neither one
a
of
game
them
of
got it, bro.
36, man.
I'm
Bring
telling
about 3 or 4 people in
Nah, we
and
don't
do
do none of
game
that
36.
Nah, because
Can you hoop it
I'm
up?
gonna win,
Yeah.
whatever.
Come on, man.
Okay,
I'm an
it's
athlete.
It's
That's
me and you against them two, but they ain't
can I
got it.
hoop it all? This
Dog,
nigga
yeah.
Disrespect y'all.
I'm
Hey,
the
Can I
only one
hot?
that's
Can
been
I?
in the league recently. None of y'all be
What
playing
league you
basketball.
played
but
in?
I'm playing the
Playing
co-ed
league.
league.
Playing the
Them
co-ed
guys
league,
was
bro.
hooping
I
too.
mean,
In the
shout out.
mirror
Them guys
ass
was
league,
hooping.
man.
Them guys was
He
hooping.
played for
though.
intramurals.
They
He
were
played for
hooping.
the adult pal league.
They was hooping.
Talking about
They
He
was
was
Yeah.
playing U30.
Exactly.
He was playing
Yeah,
U30,
wow.
U35.
They was hooping too. Them guys
35
was-
you.
man.
Hey,
And
man.
then he fell at trampoline park. I ain't trying to play
Even
Tracy
though-
McGrady.
Even though Los played for East, we still
I
gonna kick
played
the
for
shit out of
Scrabble,
y'all.
so we was better
I'm
school
just
than
saying.
these. And yeah, so
They
2
done
on 2,
score
man.
on us for an entire quarter.
That was
That's-
when
that's
they
rough.
played.
The birthday
Not
clock
when we
season all the
played.
time.
So we talking about
They
we got
did
2
win the
on.
state.
Check the goal.
Shout out
Yeah,
to-
we've
shout
been
out to
kicking
the school.
ass
They
since
won
I
state
left.
2 years
Since
ago.
2011, since we lost in the state, we've been in the state every year.
I was having kids at that time. Hey, 2 on 2.
All right, bet we got that locked in, chat. We gonna do 2 on 2.
We're gonna do horse. We're gonna do knockout. We're gonna do 36. We're gonna do some one winner games too.
Yeah.
Cause you know, but
What's the
all
game
of
where
it-
you play where everybody go shoot behind each other?
I know you talking about the
Yeah,
2 free throw
yeah.
thing.
No,
You
no,
gotta
no,
hit the
no.
free
Got
throw.
you. We gotta play
yeah,
gotcha.
same thing.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
yeah.
gotcha. Same thing as knockout.
Knockout show is.
I went all that.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
bet.
Chat.
So I'm working on my love.
All right, so that's what he working on.
I'm working on my lower back strength.
Okay.
What, bro? Y'all niggas ass.
All right.
Yeah, my lower back strength.
You asked the
Put
nigga
the
what he
picture
working
up
on.
from Pilates lay on the machine doing the thing, the pelvic thrust.
Oh,
man.
the hip thrust and all
Lower
this shit,
back
man.
deadlift.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
your Kegels.
Yeah.
I see where this is going.
Kegels.
Kegels.
Male Kegels. You ain't gonna pass that test.
You supposed to do them kegels.
What you working on, cuz?
Man, I'm working on keep doing my daily reading. I've been reading a book that you got me in, another book. It's a couples book. Teach you how to understand your significant other. You know, how they brain operate versus how our brain operates.
What's the name of it?
For Men Only. And the women's book is called For Women Only. So it's like a compatibility.
Is she reading it too?
She was.
Okay.
I think so. It's on a nightstand, like, you know, so. But that's what I'm doing, reading that. Because, you know, like I saw somebody's comment that said they working on being a better husband and father. And I think that, you know, it's important to give equal time, you know, that I try to invest for my kids to my partner too. So that's what I'm working on, keep working that aspect.
Yeah, the book I was talking about, All About Love, it talked about a lot of literature about relationships being kind of weighted. I thought that was interesting that it had like a companion book, like for each perspective. I said I was working on my love, but seriously, I'm actually working on like creative freedom, you know, and extending myself like that grace and creative license outside of just what I do for a living. And along with reading that book, I've been working through the Artist's Way. And I got a companion book that goes with that. There's like some writing prompts and like kind of almost like affirmations kind of thing. And that's pushed me into just more of a writing and creative space, and it's made me want to start working on a memoir. And just as kind of a side or passion project. So
I hope that you just my own personal request that I think I can make. When you do write your memoir, I hope that you consider narrating it as well, because I think that people would like to hear your tone of voice. Like when you, like your rapping voice is one voice, but like you reading something to them, I think that'll resonate too. I like that. Sorry for cutting you off. Just wanted to give you that.
Is a memoir different between an autobiography? Is that a big difference?
I think that a memoir is more specific for the subject material of what it's writing about, and then the autobiography is supposed to encompass the entire life.
Are you gonna do that as well?
I don't know.
I thought
could
that
be
was
wrong.
kind of the same thing. I don't know. I just thought memoir sounds so much cooler.
Yeah.
Well, the idea is what I really was saying. I wanna tell my own story. I don't want to tell my own story. I don't want nobody to tell it for me. That's his favorite song of mine.
What's on? I wasn't.
It's on the playlist. We're gonna have a playlist with every episode.
My bad.
So
I'm sorry. I was
below.
reading my answer that I was right, so I.
Yeah, that's
why I just pulled up. I was gonna say it. Yeah,
but yeah, it's more so like when I was saying memoir, it's like my journey played out in real time in front of people's faces, like if you were in the know. But I realized that certain people got attached to me and what I do at different times. So to be able to comprehensively tell the story of like, you know, becoming something or the life-changing aspects within, because it's a survival story, I can say that much. But also I wouldn't want to frame it as an autobiography, just like you said, is for the sake of it being fully comprehensive, but I also want to write it with a writer that I like respect or admire or feel like they were responsible or thoughtful with the way that they covered this genre. You know, so I have
Julia Beverly.
I like Julia. I like what she did with Pimp C's story. The person I have in mind, and maybe I'm just putting this out there in the ether, is Andrew Nostinsky. And I found like one of his independent websites. I'm gonna try to tap in with him there. But he's written for quite a few like reputable like
publishing houses
or sites. You know, just different. You know, the whole journalism field is like kind of, it's changed. It's downsized and stuff. Like a lot of the, you know, having been written about in on Vice and what's the other ones when Pitchfork and just, you know, rep Billboard and things like that. It's like, where y'all getting these? I recently did like a Vibe magazine thing, and that was cool. I just read that a few days ago. But this was a writer, like I said, I always like how comprehensive and informative and thorough the writing style. And I'm like, if it's someone to help me, you know, articulate or write out my story, that would be who I have in mind for it. So I'm putting that out there, trying to speak it into existence and also free myself from, man, we be shackled down and weighted down by like what we think other people think of us or like perceptions and shit. And so that's something that I'm working on. Like the shit we think matters or that we make matter to us don't matter as much, or it shouldn't hold us back.
Right.
You know, because it's some greatness on the other side of that freedom when you just let that shit go and just be. So yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Man, that's great, because that's what I feel like this podcast is about for all of us, you know, being able to push ourselves outside of some things that we normally wouldn't do to accomplish, you know, these new goals. So I'm excited to hear about that. Looking forward to all y'all's progress. Anything else you want to leave them with, Los? Oh, you got to come back to Los.
Yeah, we
what's
gave
up,
some
Los?
time,
We
huh?
gave some time, big dog.
I think kind of similar to what you talk about, this self-guilt thing. That's what I'm working on. I'm getting out of that guilting myself of charging my price. Guilting myself of like why I should and shouldn't do things, and you know what I want to do. So I'm working on that. I'm gonna go to therapy about it, and I'm gonna talk to the lady, well, the man on the couch, and we figure it out.
Word.
Hey y'all, this was Work in Progress. Hey, like I said, make sure y'all tap in the chat, hit us up, let us know how you liking some of these episodes. We got a lot more coming out for y'all. Make sure you follow us. It's your boy Loso.
We're gonna load up, get a lot more.
It's your boy Shoot.
Baby Legend.
Jimmy Hacho.
And this is Work in Progress Podcast. We out.